Oh, heck, I'm in the wrong outfit, like a dum-dum.
Ah!
Guys,
Ori just likes her laying outfit way too much.
With
ears, Dichotomy! Oh! This is a good day indeed.
Dichotomy, actually, I was thinking about trying to add, like, an automatic captioner, which is a possibility that I can do, and that is a possible future plan. It wouldn't be for Ace Attorney streams, it would just be for these streams, just because, one, there's room for it. It's not really good news because you're, you know, double-edged sword, Dichotomy, double-edged sword. Sick, but, you know,
I'm sorry you had to call
no
in
work.
Sick. That does suck.
I hope you only feel mildly sick. You know what I'm saying? You know the kind of sick, like when you're a kid,
I hope it's
and you
the
feel
kind of sick where you can still like play games and watch movies and things like that. Like that's
and not where it's like
sick.
Doing anything with my brain at all is bad.
Exactly.
Ooh, also, I've had a really great day. I'm sorry, Dichotomy, I don't want to rub it in, but I've had a really great day. Kind of cyclical.
It's been cyclical.
Oh, haha, because sick. I'm like, what's the pun that you didn't intend?
Wow.
Trying to figure it out. I got there.
Oh, she tried, guys.
Oof.
She tried.
Well, I guess that's better than always a living hell, but I'm sorry to hear that it is sometimes a living hell. Have you been sick for more than one day? Were you sick yesterday? I hope that it will be short-lived. What was I gonna say, though? My brain died. I was saying things. Oh no! Dichotomy! Oh no!
Oh, geez.
Is it the big one?
Dichotomy?
Is it the...
How long is a while?
Yeah, that is
like,
true.
Define a while.
Is a while 3 days, or is a while like 7 days?
Is a while.
Because Dylan was sick once for 10 days, which I was surprised about, and I managed to not get sick from him during those 10 days. But I gotta tell you, I tried really fucking hard. I tried really hard. I, like, the first day he was sick and called off work, I, like, went to, like, CVS, and I, like, got, like, the emergency tablets and, like, the coldies stuff, and I was like...
Buy all the orange juice, all
the
Pedialyte
the orange
carry.
juice. I'm, like, I'm, like, taking that, I'm taking multivitamins, I'm, like, chewing the things every day, I'm like, yeah, we ain't getting this. Wearing a mask.
Since Friday.
Oof, I'm so sorry, Dichotomy.
Geez.
And you're still being cyclical? Oof. Is it the
My
big sun beer one? I know I can say it, I just think it's funny to not say it. Oh.
It is funny to not say it.
It's funny to not say it.
I think most people have an idea of what you're talking about.
They should. The big sun beer, yeah. Oh, you haven't been tested? I see. Well, I mean, whether you are or not, there's not really much they do about it. You just kind of gotta ride it out. So, oof. I hope that it won't be 10 days long, but that seems like what it's going for, so. Good luck. Plenty of rest. Happy to have you here, though. But speaking of that, like I said, maybe closed captionings in the future. I know how to do it, kind of. Halfway how to do it. So we'll see.
They can happen, you guys. It's a very real possibility.
What was I gonna say? Gotta open some stuff. Is this on the right thing? This is not
That is
on the
the
right
question.
thing. There we go.
Doesn't quite look like the right thing.
Yeah, it'll be cool, and hope the biggest thing I gotta figure out is I know that the captioning can do it where it gets both Mars and I, but I just don't know what the formatting for that would be. If that makes sense, like where, how it would separate us.
Oh, not just because you're earless, Dichotomy. It helps everyone involved.
Other people have also been earless, Dichotomy. Don't think you're that special. But honestly, it is...
Wow, here I am being like, no, don't worry. And Ori's in the corner like, you're not special.
But actually, Dichotomy, I will say, it is large. It's more like I wasn't searching for it. I do watch a streamer every now and again that has closed captioning. And, to my understanding, it's pretty simple. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. It's just like, it's one of those things that's like, it's free and it's on the list of things, but I just have to like figure it out. But I will say, Dichotomy, it is mostly because, like, even thinking about it, because you are frequently earless, and it would just make everybody's life easier. Cause why not? And it could be funny. And it's not like it would impose, you know? Again, it's free.
Oh, not at all.
Again, it's free, so it's not like there'd be any money or anything, you know, with it.
Free can be an investment too. Time.
It's simply me figuring
everything.
out to, yeah, the time is definitely.
Time is an investment.
Oh, yeah. Hello, MP.
Hey, MP.
I'm deciding what I want to work on.
Welcome.
And I did say AU stuff, but I did end up doing a whole AU page yesterday. So I think we're gonna figure out... Oh, heck. Do I have to upload shit? I might have to upload things. Okay.
Oh boy.
I gotta upload stuff. Unless it's already uploaded. Otherwise I have to go grab my art machine.
Oh. Get the Procreate.
I've specifically
Oh,
tried
dear.
to not call it that.
I've completely given up.
Is this 5? It is 5. Okay, I have stuff already. Let's see if they're in the downloads. Or I have to download them. Don't want to double download. Looks like...
Not the double download.
Looks like it would be needed to be downloaded. Let's download you. And you. Can I multiple click? Oops. I have too many keyboards, guys. Whew! Alright. There we go.
Mars got a
Yeah,
new
well.
laptop today, guys. It has a
It
working
came today?
keyboard and everything.
Is that what you're using right now?
Nope, because I definitely didn't have time to set that up. Yet.
That's a vibe. That's a vibe. The setup...
That is going to be a tomorrow thing.
The setup is the
For
big
sure.
one.
I'm still on the old one that's having a time, but it's doing all right.
All right. Let's You're there because you're a copy of the last one.
Not drawing, but flatting the comic again, you guys.
Yeah,
I'm so
drawing the
happy.
comic. Is this? What's this? This is one I just did, so I don't need that. We're trying to set it up. You go down here? Yeah, you go here. Lovely. Look at that lineup right there. Boop. Done. Did you show off what just arrived? Did you show off what just arrived?
I don't know, did you?
I don't think you did. You should.
I'm so curious now.
Also, for me, what just arrived today at my parents' house, so I won't get it until Sunday, but it did just arrive. I got the Ryoko Kui Daydream Hour art book, and I got what I believe to be my Leos Nendroid. A package from Good Smile came, and
very nice.
because I already got the Noodle Stopper, I'm assuming it's the Nendroid, because there's not a lot of other things. It's in Couch. Let's look in Couch. Oh, it's a little duck Lucifer!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Ah, amazing.
This is adorable. And it works so perfectly because of the rubber ducks that Lucifer makes. This is amazing. This is fantastic.
That's too good. Holy shit.
I'm so bad because Mars and I, like, we just finished our last con, right? We did our last convention like last week, and this past weekend, not even that long ago. No, the weekend before that. Sorry, last weekend we just had anime. The weekend before that, and what's so bad is the fact that my brain is slowly dying.
Oh dear.
Why is this not right? Can you do what I want? Okay, very
Does
weird.
it ever do what you want?
Sometimes.
How rare.
And,
Lucifer.
oh god. So creative, I know. Yeah, well, it works.
That
Oh my
is
god!
one
Oh my
hell
god!
of a
Oh
name.
my god! Hold on!
What?
Fuzzy
What
duck?
happened?
Ducky
Oh.
fuzz! Does he fuck?
Does he fuck? Ducky does!
Oh, so good. That would work so well.
My god.
Oh.
The way you were panicking, I thought you lost something that you drew before. I was like, oh god, what
No, I'm
happened?
sorry.
Oh god, what happened?
There's like 8 iterations at this point. But,
You terrified me, Ori.
I'm sorry. I was so excited about the fucking... the fucking, literally. The...
That's not very ace of you, Ori.
You've seen... I've talked to you.
I gotta say, that's not living up to our brand.
Mars, Dragon AU is not very ace of me right now. I gotta
Dragon
tell
AU
you.
is definitely not ace of you.
Dragon AU got me being very unace. What? What was that? Oh, okay, dichotomy. There's a meme
Oh.
sound. And it
It's
goes,
beautiful. It's wonderful.
fuzzy duck.
It's not really popular
Ducky
anymore. but it
fuzz.
was.
Does he fuck? Fuck, he does. And it was usually done with like, they'd draw a little like, 1 little duck, 2 little ducks, character, and then like really spicy character of that character. And it like, that was around a lot and very much could 1, see it with Lucifer, and 2, MP, I'm not saying Dragon AUs in general aren't ace. I'm saying that
Because
it's
the Dragon AU
Smogus.
that Ori drew is
I
very
have,
not
a,
ace.
I have a problem. but, so it's Smogus, right? So Smaug for dragons, and it's like, I guess people kind of do mythical
Smaug
creatures
from
as
The
well.
Hobbit,
But
as you
but like so I went in, I was like, okay, I gotta draw something dragony for Smogus, right? I love dragons. My boy is nearly a dragon, but not quite, you know, my boy Milano. We'll just
Cayman. He's got the features. You already got
Yeah.
the built-in scales. You got the claws.
exactly. We'll just make
You got the oops sexy. I mean, come
yeah.
on. That's
Well,
only
see,
5
that's
steps away
the
from
problem.
dragon.
This is the problem, right? And then so it was like, okay, I'm drawing it, and I need it for the medic tier Kofi AU, which is our highest medic tier Kofi membership tier, which is the highest, and it has spicy art. Now, none of my spicy art is that spicy, like in an overall explicit sense, but so I was like, okay, so we're doing this together. And then I ended up drawing this one piece that I put way more effort in rendering it than I thought I ever would have, that I ever played. I'm literally
More
going into like,
effort
most
than
of this is
Ori
gonna be sketchy.
ever needed to include.
And I went way too hard into it. And it looks fucking amazing, guys. Like, medic, go get that.
it's
Like, it's good shit.
beautiful.
I'm very proud of the rendering on it.
In it, dragon.
Well, and then so it
Yes.
evolved into like, okay, like what's the story behind this? And I was given like Mars ideas and stuff, and then I did like, you guys
yeah.
will get to see on Saturday. There will be
Dragon AU
the
is a gold
Safer
mine.
Work sketches of Dragon Milano, but just the inherent way that I've done it definitely led to me being like, oh, look at all these spicy options. And then I'm like, oh yes, Mars, we need this in it. I'm not gonna tell you why. You'll see why eventually, but you can think of it. But like, yes, art. And the AU is totally not based off of ideas with that or anything. So a fair amount of it is wholesome. I'm still
not
very
sus, you guys.
very ace at heart, but like overall it's definitely got a fair amount of sauce.
The sauce has boiled over.
AU art out. Yeah, but like I will say, when I say like it's NSFW, it's like I definitely personally don't want to open this art
It's
in like
Ori's
public,
version of NSFW.
but it's like definitely not explicit in any way. It's definitely just spicy. You know what I'm saying? It's spicy.
It's one of those things where, like, if you
but
were
it's
over at your
not
parents and you'd have to
full
ask
on.
yourself, do I want to open this in front of them?
Like,
And if the
I would
answer is
say-
no, it's probably Ori's spicy art.
I would say some like animes have moments that are worse than things that I draw. But it is
Yeah.
certainly spicy. You know what I'm saying? It's got the spice. But I will say, overall, they wear a lot more clothes than most other things. If I'm being completely honest, they still wear majority of their clothes.
Loincloth, so can Milano.
Yeah, it's very sheer, but like there's not even anything under it technically. I didn't draw anything under it.
Lots of beautiful jewelry.
Yes, they're dragons. They have to be very prettily adorned. All right. I'll show a little bit of the free post we'll do.
Not the California Reaper.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm like I have no will to draw anything spicy. I'm trying to find the sketch one. Mars, we talk so much. All right.
Lucky Leprechaun does seem to disprove all that, but
still, okay, there's a few artists that I follow, and it's like, this is nothing compared, and it's like, you know, I look at like the artists that I follow that are like, these people
because it comes from you.
Maybe. But it's like, okay, these are people that are like NSFW artists, and it's like, that's like their whole brand or their whole like, you know, scheme of making money, and it's like, wow, this is nothing, like my stuff is like baby.
Like, I got nothing on this.
Yeah, my stuff is baby compared. All right, here's a little taste, because on a Saturday, these Dragon Milano sketches will be all up for viewing on the Discord and our webtoon
so you guys can look forward to those.
Feed stuff, and then the Ko-fi tier Carpenter members will get them in like a colored version.
Hey, Boo.
Hello, Boo. These are not spicy. These ones are not spicy. But here's like a little Dragon Milano. Boo is back, indeed. Boo's back now, y'all.
And
one scare this time.
Hodson has to be a little bard.
It worked out for so he had to be a bard for the first one with the medic because of the specific implications.
I think it works.
But I think overall, then we made lore about it. That's what usually happens. I was like, okay, I'm doing it this way, and then we made lore about it. And I was like, oh, Mars, this is why he's a bard. And Mars is like, yes.
I mean, no, couldn't you just see Hodson? Like, Dragon's like, sing me a song, and he's like, there once was a dragon who showed mercy and didn't eat the bard who came to thee. He was nice and he kind and he let me go home because
let me go free.
That's made of stone.
There you go. But yeah, so yep, there's some taste, but I really like all those stuff. And then they have like full dragon forms, and they have like
guys, the full dragon forms are amazing.
So they're all Eastern dragon based.
Because they had to be.
Mostly
Western Dragon was not happening.
Western Dragon was one, not happening, and two, Milano is very fluffy, and honestly, so is Sinnet, which is really funny because
really
they're both like the scaled things.
Fluffy to a Western Dragon.
But it's really hard to translate fluffy to a Western Dragon. It really, really is. And he's just so fluffy, and so Eastern dragons have manes and stuff, so it just worked out better that way.
And it was beautiful.
All right. I don't have a lot to line here, but because I'm not seeing the last one uploaded.
A little bit here, a little bit there.
Unless I'm being blind. Let's look one more time, because I may be being blind.
It's entirely possible.
It is very possible. Because I don't think...
Guys, I have cookies and cream frozen yogurt, and I am so happy right now.
It's not that one.
It's delicious.
Nice. Nope.
Hey,
right,
Pastry
I haven't
Puff.
uploaded it. Hello, Pastry Puff.
Welcome. You missed Dragon Milano.
We can still show Dragon Milano.
I think we have to.
Here's Dragon Milano. So there will be Oh, also, Pastry Puff, how you liking the start of the Ace Attorney AU? I know it's a little short, you know, because it's one comic page per upload, but like, God, need time. It's supposed to be slow.
How did you like Ferrex in the
Yeah, how did you like Ferrex in the
That's the
role?
true question.
So you'll get the whole comic, you'll get the whole sketchbook spread out on Saturday, and Ko-fi members will get the colored version, and then there'll be Senate. We got Senate stuff. Ace Attorney,
yeah. Ace Attorney AU.
Ace AU Attorney. Ace AU Attorney. Ooh, double AU.
Ace Attorney.
But yes.
Still can't get over how tiny Hotsun is.
Yeah, he gets tinier throughout that because basically in the
He
AU,
does.
in the AU, the dragons can be like any size basically, obviously
they can
within
pick
reason,
whatever size
but
they
they're
want.
very much like
It's fine.
shapeshifter capable, so they can choose like how much dragon they have, how much human they have. They can also turn into their animal that they
I think if I
collars
remember
of.
correctly, like you have that image of Hotsun's jacket being like pinched between Milano's fingers, and it's like, okay, he's a reasonable size there.
Yeah.
And then you have another
It's
image where
smaller and
it's like
smaller.
he's the size of an ant sitting
Yeah.
on his pinky or
He's
something.
smaller and smaller and smaller. It's solely for the vibes, you know? Milano could be, and Cynic could be whatever size I want for the vibes, you know?
Because we say so.
Cause I say so. And it's in the lore. It's lore accurate because I say so.
Exactly.
I made it lore accurate. Oh,
Here's our card. I can do what I want.
exactly.
Nice, Pastry Puff!
Woo!
Yes! Oh god, I loved how Buddy Daddies did Miri. Like,
She's
she
so
really
good
works
as a kid character. Yes.
She's so freaking good as a kid character. Controversial? I think she's better than Anya.
Oh, no, Anya's the bad kid character, solely because she's not really a kid with the fact that she can read minds. Right? And I think that's okay. I think that's
I think
okay.
it works for the story they're trying to tell. My main problem I had with, and Ori, you know the main problem I had with it. She knows about spies. She watches all these shows and stuff, yet she still took the thing or answered the radio. That was obviously like, this is bad. These are bad guys. How do you not know this? You are obsessed with this type of media.
Yeah. I think that overall, Anya's just a tough to be a good kid character solely because she has the, like, mind reading powers. So you want her to be a little more in the know than normal.
She's a good comedic kid character.
Yeah.
Like, for the comedic bits, it really works.
But she's not authentic. You know, she's
But
just
Miri
a character.
Is just like,
Miri's a child.
Miri's so well done.
Miri's a child. Same with, I think they do good in Tadaima Okairi.
They do fantastic with the Tadaima Okairi, because those are toddlers,
Yeah.
which are even harder to write for. And goddamn, I am so glad they didn't do the thing where they just insert W's in place of R's everywhere. Like, that's not how child speech works. That does not automatically kid speech make, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah. So.
Oh.
But I think Anya would have been tough to be an authentic kid character. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that the show would have worked.
I feel like they started getting closer as the series progressed, ironically enough.
Sometimes. I feel like it really matters on the episode.
Definitely.
Because she
100%.
also just, because of the level of, like, the way the show works, she has to be, like, cognizant of some things, but of course, like, the comedic bit of other things. So it's just, like, a lot. Well, that's not even
that's
kid
the only
speak,
time
though.
That's acceptable.
I do like
Yeah, do
Ooting.
we get confirmation for Elmer Fudd's age?
He's definitely
Ooting
not a
is
child. He's definitely not a child. He has a speech impediment, Mars. This is your field.
I know.
Oh, okay, Dichotomy, you have ears. I need to tell this story now because you'll definitely appreciate it.
That's such a wild phrase. Ooh,
Yeah.
you have ears.
So, he has an accent? Is that what it is? All right, all right.
Have we met more of his family? Have we seen
Yeah.
the people lives with. Because if it's an accent, he'd be surrounded by people who also spoke that way.
Yeah, exactly, Pastry Puff. It's been confirmed? Alright, if it's confirmed, you know more about the Looney Tunes lore than I do.
Confirmed it.
But what was I saying? So you have years that on me. So my cousin goes to my alma mater, right? Which is really, really fun because it was a small school and it's very like niche of like what classes and stuff you take. And I'm pretty sure they're taking my same major, which is a general major. So they're actually in a class that I never took, but I know, like, I have a general knowledge of I have an approximate knowledge of many things. And so they're taking entomology this year, not etymology, entomology. And
very important distinction.
And so part of I know this, part of the entomology class is you have to make an insect collection, a pinned insect collection by the end of I think it's by the end of the semester. I don't actually know. But you have to make a pinned insect collection. And so he was like, hey, do you want to see, like, my pinned insects? Yeah, pinsects, exactly. And I was like, oh, yeah, of course. So he showed me 3 of them. And I was like, hey, I don't know when you're going to, like, when you have to turn this in and if you'll be home, because they live very close to my parents, if you'll be home before you have to turn it in. But would you like me to try and get you, and I don't know how they'll do in the mail, would you like me to try and get you some, like, bugs, specifically the spotted lanternfly, because we have way too many of them and all this sort of stuff. And they were like, I don't know, and, you know, we could try to send it through the mail, but either way, I want to do this for fun, so having a spotted lanternfly would be, like, super cool, like, get it for me anyway, right? And I was like, hell yeah, all right, if you're doing this for fun, since I'm outdoors all the time, I am totally gonna go fucking ham, like, all the way. So we, like, talked all about, like, making a kill jar, and I got all the ingredients to make, like, a professional kill jar. Like, I got entomology grade, I think it's called ethyl acetate, I think is what it is. Okay. Something like that. And that's, like, the best thing, and plaster of Paris and all this sort of stuff to get it, and, like, jars to maybe try and ship it, and this sort of stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll be your bug dealer.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
I'll be your bug dealer. So good. So now, guys, I'm a bug dealer. Hit me up for bugs. But I'm literally gonna be an arborist in my car, and I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna have a kill jar.
That's epic. This is a way to spread the information of the lanternfly.
Well, I definitely won't get just lanternflies. If I see cool other stuff, like, I'll probably grab some stuff. Can't grab mantises, you can't kill them. But, maybe a cabbage butterfly or something, just for fun, you know?
Something like that. We ran into 1 lanternfly today, but not more, surprisingly.
My parents came home yesterday from their vacation, and they apparently, like, got a ton. Like, they were just killing a ton of lanternflies. Also,
no, that's literally what it sounded like they were doing, MP.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got the bugs? That's what I'm saying. That's the pun. I'm a bug dealer.
No. You can't kill mantises. They're protected.
No, okay. You can physically kill them. They will die, but it's illegal. It's illegal because they are protected. And you will be fined if caught. And it's such a common knowledge thing that, like, all of the crew members that I work with, who again are not like environmental guys, like they're doing like gas line, electric line, you know, and digging and stuff. So they're not like, they know so well that one time they were like, tree lady, literally this guy who's like, tree lady, there's a praying mantis in the hole. Where do I put it? And I was like, oh, just, you know, put it in a tree, because praying mantises are predators, so anywhere there's bugs, they'll be happy.
Oh yeah,
praying mantises have been shown to eat lanternflies, and
noise.
I don't think you're allowed to kill them at all, to my understanding. They're coming. I don't think you can kill and pin them legally at all, anywhere, ever.
special mantis killing lights. That's
There
very
might-
specific. I feel like someone needs to have a personal grudge against a mantis to
There
pursue
might be
something like that.
specific exceptions. So to my understanding, Dichotomy, there's not a reason for research that you would need to have specifically a dead mantis. Most research would probably be done with live ones, but and usually you try to make it as like environmentally like acceptable as possible.
Environmentally kosher, as they say.
I mean, in the way of like your most of your research as with biology that is not like microbiology, I will say or like genetics, the majority of your work is done in the field and not in the lab. The lab is like, yeah, you get like organic chemistry and like microbiology and like nano, like genetics and all that sort of stuff. It does have a lot of lab work, but like every other biology I've ever done is field. And so you're really not dealing with mantises that you're like trying to catch them and like put them in like a cage and do stuff with them. You're trying to specifically observe them in the wild. So you'd like tag them in some way, but you're definitely not killing them. I can see that there might be an exception for what is called, I think it's called the primary specimen or the initial specimen. So there's something, and it's called something special, and I'm blanking on what it is, but it's basically when you discover and define a new species of something. Part of the requirement for that is having a preserved specimen of it. You have to specifically have the first specimen of it preserved somewhere. That's like that's like a big part of it. And they're called something, and I'm blanking on what specimen of a species called. A holotype, that's what it's called. A holotype is the single specimen that a researcher designates as the main...
Holonite?
Not a holonite. It's HOLO.
Hi, dark reindeer.
Name-bearing representative of a new species. So it's specifically, this is the one that all the species, like, this is the most species of this species. You know what I'm saying? This specific specimen. So you may...
The one that starts it all.
Yeah, so you may be able to have the exception for, I've discovered a new mantis species, I need a holotype. But they also might make you care for it until it dies. I don't actually know. And I don't think a mantis is technically protected across the world, but definitely in the United States because they are incredibly endangered. And like I said, it is so common in the state of New York that basically everybody, like even a layperson, is like, no, you can't kill a praying mantis. And they get big, man. They're big.
Oh, they can get massive.
They're big boys. They're so cool, though, when you get to see one, because they are big. It's really, really neat.
It's so cool because it's one of those bugs that you cannot mistake for anything else.
It's, yeah, like gold.
I was like, once you see one,
you only
like,
get the small ones.
Oh my god!
We had one at my parents' house many years ago. It was like out in the corner, and we found him, and he was the big green one. I don't know what it's called. Big green.
Inch and a half. Wow. You got some teeny tiny ones, Dichotomy. We occasionally have some that hang out at our front porch. I think last summer we had one maybe about as big as, like when he was fully standing upright, I would say he was about the length of my hand. I wonder if I have a picture of it. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I hope
they
I do,
usually
but
get.
I probably don't.
I think you might just be seeing young ones though, Dichotomy, because they're predators. So they like they
They're
they don't.
predators and they do grow.
Yeah, and they don't metamorphosize. You know, metamorphize. Yeah, they don't metamorphize. They just shed like a lobster. They shed like a lobster, and so they shed and get bigger. You know, a lot of insects do that. Not most insects don't go through a cocoon pupal stage. They just slowly get bigger.
It's
like
so
to my
damn
understanding.
cool. Yeah, Yeah, metamorphose, like how a caterpillar goes to a butterfly via chrysalis.
Yeah, so that's specifically called metamorphosis. Is specifically you have the egg, you have the caterpillar, it's a juvenile stage or the nymph stage, and then you have a pupal stage, and then they look completely, utterly different. And so it's basically in the metamorphosis, in that pupal stage, they're literally reduced to goop, and then they're put back together into a whole new thing. Oh, you think it's metamorphose? Maybe. But yeah, MP. So mantises would be like shedding an exoskeleton. Yeah, they shed their like cicadas. They shed their exoskeleton and they go on. Oh, I saw those pictures.
This was him on nearly formed day. He wasn't goop, and I sadly never got a goop picture. But you can see him inside, and it's pretty cool.
Well, at the end, yeah, look at that. Spotted lanternflies don't have a pupal stage.
Oh, how nice.
They just grow into that horrible thing.
Little bastards.
Yep. It's too bad we're past juvenile season. I can't get my cousin any little demon summoning circle bugs.
So sad. If only.
If they're still doing it next year.
Then you haven't missed your opportunity.
Ooh, I almost forgot to send my mom the picture of the egg sex.
Ooh, spider shedding its exoskeleton?
Yep.
Do you remember what kind of spider it was?
All spiders will do that. Tarantulas, you find the dead. They're not dead. They're exoskeletons.
That's like the one bug in my life I never need to see. Thank you.
Okay, I don't have
probably a tarantula.
What is it called? Tryptophobia? But
is that the fear of holes?
Yeah, I don't have a generalized fear of holes. I do get uncomfy when I see holes that I know are the work of bugs. Like, for a fact, right? It's not just any holes, but holes that I'm like, I know a bug made this, and there's like a lot of them. Those creep me the fuck out.
Those are freaky. Especially when it's like, where did all these holes come from? Now I know there's something living in the lawn. Where did it come from?
Well, it's like
when will I see it?
So I finally, for the first time, saw the egg masses of the spotted lanternfly. I'd never seen egg masses. However, they were all hatched egg masses, no newly lined ones. So they all have these little slits in them, and it's really skeeves me really bad.
Can you send me a picture of that if you took a picture of that?
Yeah, I did. Specifically for reference.
I want to see. I want to be skeeved out.
Oh, how nice. So basically, these are the hatched ones, and if you see, like, contiguous ones, ones without the holes, but that look like that, you scrape them off, double bag them, or burn them. That's what you gotta do.
Burning sounds good. I'm okay with burning.
This was on a tree of heaven, which is their main host plant. We have no evidence that they don't lay eggs on other things. So, yeah, it's terrible, ain't it? Horrible.
Oh, that's bad.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Woo, 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 yay,
yeah, I hate it so much.
I did want it. Now I'm grossed out.
Did you look it up, MP? Did you look up the bug thing that I'm talking about? Especially if it's a skin like something.
My brain just did.
Yeah, that's what I get. But again, it's specifically for things that I know for a fact are bugs or are very likely bugs, right? Like if there's like the lotus plant, the lotus plant has holes and everybody looks at that, like that's fine. If there's like holes in rocks, like I don't care. I'll send it to you. Okay, I'll put it in spoilers. I keep trying to delete this, guys.
I had to zoom in a little bit, and then I saw it, and it's like, oh, ew. That's fun. Everything's fine.
Hatched spotted Lantern fly egg masses. Spell the sphere of holes, somebody.
Trichodecaphobia.
No, trichophobia. I don't know.
Let me type it. Fear of holes.
Yeah, spell it.
Triphobia. Oh, we were way off.
What?
Triphobia is the fear of holes.
There's a CH in it.
Trypophobia?
Tryptophobia.
Trypophobia.
Yeah. Okay. Fear of
Trypophobia.
holes.
There's no extra T in there.
Trypophobia.
Yeah.
With a Y. Phobia and warning.
See, some of these aren't bad, because some of these I know are naturally occurring.
Well, like I'm saying,
It's
the
when
lotus
they're
plant
not
doesn't give
naturally
me a
occurring
problem.
that It's like,
You know,
that's not fun.
The like corals and stuff doesn't give me a problem.
The holes in
The
people's
honeycombs
hands.
doesn't give me a problem. Yeah, those horrible.
Honeycombs are supposed to exist.
Horrible. The ones in people's skin, bad.
Yeah, no,
the-
that's bad.
The strawberry, fine. Pomegranate, fine.
Why am I still looking at these? I need to
Yeah,
close.
me too.
my
We need to
thing.
leave.
Blech.
Ugh,
We need to leave.
I left.
I want to go home, Maury.
Okay. I need to think happier thoughts now. Oh shit! I didn't do it right. Heck.
Okay, the way you timed that, I need to think happier thoughts. Shit, I didn't do that right.
I didn't
Made it so like
spoiler
you
it.
didn't think of the happy thought you wanted. Like you thought of a happy thought incorrectly. No, literally same exact thing happened to me yesterday. I could not spoiler the pictures I was trying to send for the life of me. It was driving me crazy.
I always forget how to do it on the phone, and I'm like, I wrote the word spoiler. It should be fine.
Oh, you're supposed to tap the picture.
Yeah, I got there. We got there. Okay, it's
tap the
in.
picture before you hit send. Oh God.
That's
help
what I
me.
forget about. It's in Arborist.
Just go away.
Okay, let's talk about something else now.
Yeah, apparently that was enough to set off my acid reflux. That's
Welcome,
fun.
Mason. You missed the
Hi,
worst part of
Mason. You
stream.
missed the
Really good
trauma,
time.
So that
Yeah.
worked out really well.
Good
How was
time.
your first day of college, by the way?
Yeah.
We need a distraction.
I need something
desperately.
else. I'm having a bad time. Ugh.
Apparently, looking at holes triggered my acid reflux, so
Oh no.
I'm done. I'm out.
Ew. My body is not enjoying right now.
Yeah, no, just no.
Let's look at. Oh, look at Dragon Milano. Dragon
Look at
Milano
it.
and Lil
With
Hotzen.
cute little bard.
How nice. So good. Ooh, I actually have other ones we can look at that are little
Ooh,
sneak peek
let's
things
show
I did
them.
without showing the whole thing I'm gonna send. Where is it?
Yes, Dragon Milano and Bard Hotzen soothes my soul. This is nice.
Here is a nice little close-up from the medic tier one that we did. That I did. Where you can have Bard Hotzen. Little colored rendered Bard Hotzen.
Look at those puffy sleeves.
He's got all the poof, all the puff.
It's got so much poof.
So much poof, so much puff. Let me see if there's any other close-ups I want to show.
That's good, Mason.
I think...
Sounds like it's off to a very good start. What kind of classes are you taking?
We can see this one as well. There's the face of the medic tier Dragon Milano one. Cause that's not the medic tier part, you know?
Yeah, no, the medic tier part is the whole thing.
It is the rest. But he looks pretty cool. I like him.
The glowing eyes still get me.
It's so
beautiful.
good. It's so good. I like the
I love
Scale
the
bit on the
connecting chain
nose.
between the two horns.
This is nice. I love giving them earrings, if I'm being honest. These like long, like single dangle earrings, I really have been enjoying. I've given like everybody
need
that.
those in canon, honestly.
They're so good.
I think it's gonna happen late game, like he gets them as a present or a favor or something.
That's fun.
Because he needs it. He really needs it.
Art classes, also history and ecology. Ecology is very fun. I enjoy ecology. You get a lot of stuff learned about it. Oh, okay. But I'm saying it's like you get like a very general like idea of how like biomes work, how like evolution works, how like, you know, like there's a lot of like nice general knowledge. To me, ecology is like how the world works. Like big overarching version of biology. So when you think about like animals and plants and stuff, so I like ecology that way.
It's connecting all those little bits.
There's no visible holes dichotomy. Everything is covered. However, it is covered
a loincloth
with a very sheer cloth. Which is just rendered beautifully. I'm sorry.
Remember, he is a Ken doll, so don't get.
But yeah, there's nothing. I didn't even draw anything under there. You know what I'm saying? Like there isn't anything. If I'm being honest, the other thing I sent you, Mars, is still just a sketch, was more scandalous than this. I would love to see.
Way more scandalous.
Yeah, the second one. That one, I'm like, oh wow, this is like the highest level of spice.
No holes to speak of.
No holes to speak of. Mars, I'm deleting this picture from our chat. I don't want to look at it.
Thank you.
I don't want to open my chat with you and see it until we move past it.
I mean, I can spam Shigwon.
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice in general, but I deleted it. So we'll survive, I guess. All right, now that there's a fair amount of people in chat, guys, if you didn't hear in the Discord, we're looking for a subtitle editor/reviewer. You can go in the Discord to grab that link if you want to apply. It is a paid position. So, you know, if you want to make kind of more like a little side cash, right? Like some babysitting money, you know, sort of thing. Definitely not like a side hustle. It's not a job. It's not a part-time job. I'm very sorry. We don't make that much content or that much money to warrant that yet. But, and you don't need any video editing experience because it's really not video editing. And if you want to apply, you can do so in the Discord. There's a Google Forms link. And that's my plug for that. Is there anything else we have to plug today? Also, if you haven't looked at the comic, exactly, if you haven't looked at the webtoon for a while, Ace Attorney AU just started coming out. The first page is up. If you want the Band AU, the first page of that comic.
Ferric says Maya, he was very fun to write.
Yeah. And if you want the Band AU, that comic also has the first page, but as a cook and higher tier Ko-fi members for that.
Hi, PCM.
Hello, PCM. You'll die on this hill? All right, you can die on that hill. Dichotomy.
If that's the hill you truly want, go for it.
If that's the hill you want to die on.
I'll fight you over it. There's so many other hills worthy of dying on.
Yeah, it's Dichotomy's choice.
I shan't judge.
I showed Dylan a bunch of Fossa videos yesterday.
Why?
Because he saw a video of a lemur hopping around, and I'm like, yeah, that specific lemur is the lemur that the Fossas hunt, and that lemur is specifically built to jump between trees, but is really bad on ground, where the Fossa is pretty good in trees, but not nearly as good as jumping as that thing, but decent on the ground, because it's four-legged, and he's like, Fossas climb trees? I'm like, yeah, that's why Ferrix is so climby, so flippy boy. He's like, oh, and I was like, here you go, look at this four-legged cat-like thing run across the trees. And he's like, wow, fuck, that's wild. And then they made like a funny panting face.
Like watching the real life references for our characters, it's just like, yeah, these are based on animals.
Yeah.
I think we do a good job bringing the animal into our characters.
I think so.
Like,
Maybe I'm
determined
biased.
should be emphasized. I think we're allowed to be biased. I think we can.
You can allow the biasness.
Because like you gotta pick and choose. We want the athleticism of the possible. Like we don't want Ferrex eating bugs.
He doesn't eat bugs. He eats lemurs.
Well, we don't want him eating those either. That's not this kind of society.
No, they eat meat, but they have like the whatchamacallit, the Avatar level of animals, where it's all like hybrid, not real animals. Yeah. Well, because they're animals.
Like the lemurana and the snake flies.
Yeah, there you go. And the bee spider.
And the bee spider. The bee-eider.
I do hope that in our next hiatuses, I will start doing more like color and world building stuff. Mostly, ideally, from like a Hotson's journal perspective. Hotson's research journal part.
To work on that.
Yeah, that's the goal.
I could do so many blurbs from Hotson's perspective.
Yeah,
and just, like,
that would be the goal on like more
little like margin notes. I think that would be super fun.
That could definitely be it. The big one I gotta work on is colors specifically. I keep thinking of how to make it like all tie together, right? Because there's like a level of science, there's a level of, you know, stuff involved.
Well, see, you got the science bit and I got the writing bit. So we just need to collaborate on that and then we'll have...
Basically, there's a bunch of like notes and stuff, and then it's just like, but like confirming that this is the rule, right? That's the whole thing, right? It's like, I need to settle on, it's like, okay, this works for our story, this works in general, this, like, because I don't want to break the rules, right? If that makes sense. I don't want to make rules.
Parents season 4 through 5.
Yeah, I don't want to make rules
they went on for.
And then have to be like, oh shit, this doesn't line up with the story, I need to break them. Like, that's like, then why did you make rules in the first place? Right?
Well, then, because that's the frustrating thing. If you make rules in the first place and then you end up breaking them later on, you basically telegraph to your audience, well, the rules mean nothing, and we just came up with those arbitrarily.
And that's very much not what I want to do.
That is disappointing as hell as a viewer.
And there's also
it also destroys any kind of theory crafting that could happen.
There is certainly like an amount of vagueness that is warranted, being that they're Hotson's notes, just because in the world,
that's where
they don't know.
Unreliable
narrator, and also just in the world itself, they're not as technologically advanced as we are, so it's not like they have like genetic mapping, or, you know, like they can't genome someone, you know, and like do, you know, those sort of tests and everything. So there's a level of like stuff that just they wouldn't know for certain. And so there's just a mixture of like writing it so that's apparent, where it's like these are not fully set in stone because these are Hotson's understanding of it, where it is scientific, but for his world's level of scientific capabilities, right? Because you think of like
it's reflective of their current knowledge.
Yeah, which is not identical to how we progress as a society in real life, because there are certain things that I think are more important than how they went in real life, where it's like we didn't know a lot of stuff, and so it's just interesting that way that you have to play that into effect, because it's like you know, very early evolutionary theories, they thought that if you cut off a rat's tail, those rats' babies wouldn't have a tail because you cut it off. Yeah, Linnaeus and Carl Linnaeus, who made the like binomial naming system.
From Dylan.
Yes, he's in here. And then but then there's also like a lot of other things with like how babies were made and frog silk underpants and all these sort of things that it's like, we don't need that to really be the level.
I have questions.
Now you have questions? Okay, so for a very long time, we didn't know how like children were made, right? That it took a sperm and an egg. We basically thought, because of misogyny, that women were worthless and they were equivalent to a pit of meat and poop and a bunch of other shit. And they literally did tests where they literally got a pit and put sperm in the pit, thinking that it would grow a baby and that the woman was completely useless and had nothing to do with it but being like an incubator, and that they could mimic an incubator. Obviously it didn't work. And the way that... No, it didn't. And the way that we learned that the woman and like that it was sperm basically and everything was they made silk underwear for frogs. And then they put it on the male frog, and they tried, and the male frog did his deed, but obviously the sperm couldn't get out of the underpants, out of the silken underpants, and so no babies were made. And so they learned that it was like, okay, because frogs, they don't always mate internally. They can sometimes, like, the eggs are laid externally and then they're fertilized, right? Mm-hmm. So they learned this way that it was like both were needed to make a baby, and it all has to do with silken frog underpants. Well, because you were taking out the sort of thing, right? He did all of the actions except having the sperm make contact with the eggs, right? So it's like a whole thing.
That would be one hell of a coincidence if that's where the baby in the peach story comes from.
I don't know. To my understanding, it's just a very common, like, human through line to have children, sort of divine children, appear from, like, flowers and fruits and stuff. That happens in a lot of mythologies and folklores, independently of each other.
It happens a lot across cultures.
It's very big in Japan. That's why there's a lot of that in, like, anime stuff. Just like you know, like English and stuff has through lines. But those sort of things do happen. Like, we have Thumbelina. That's more of like a British thing, to my understanding. But of course, Japan has Momotaro. You know, but there's a lot of babies that sort of appear. There's babies that come out of, like, rocks and stuff. It's very much just like this is a divine thing that just appeared, right? So I don't think it necessarily goes hand in hand. Neppy just manifested. Exactly. But so, yeah. Like, those sort of things, you know, like, they understand, like, in, again, general terms of, like, genetics and stuff. But, like, we're talking about, like, Mendel's peas sort of, like, level of genetics, right? Where we, like, understand Punnett squares. We understand that there's, like, more complexity to, say, things like eye color and hair color and skin color than just the two dominant recessive, but they can't go beyond that, right? They don't know what those genes are, if that makes sense, right? They have the understanding that, like, there's more than two eye colors. So there's more than two combinations of the Punnett square. It's not just a straight Punnett square. There's more than, like, a one gene that does eye color. And so they can, like, understand that, but they don't know how many genes do eye color because there's no way of genetically mapping anything. Right? Does that make sense? I hope that made sense.
That's absolutely terrifying, Pastry Puff. Why does that sound like a scary stories to tell in the dark story?
Yeah, wild.
Not sure if it is, but that's horrifying. I like Mason's interpretation of what happens. Tango equals baby.
Yes. The stork comes. But yeah, no, it's very wild to think about the things we didn't know and how we came to know them. Oh, you want to hear another? This one doesn't have to do with babies or anything, but another just fun, quirky, like how we figured something out study that I think is fun. My other favorite one is the ant stilts study, which is basically these scientists were trying to figure out how ants could find their way back home, you know, with the trail and everything, how ants follow the trail, what it was, what they were doing, this sort of thing. And they had the hypothesis that it was like something left on the ground, like a pheromone sort of thing, whatever it was. And so to test the hypothesis, they took ants and they put them on stilts and they, like, glued, like, little, like, I can't remember what it was, but, like, little toothpicks or stuff, you know, like, stuff to the ants. So they were very tall ants. And this meant that they weren't close enough to the ground, close enough to the pheromone, and so they would get lost.
Aw. I just feel bad for the ants now.
Yeah, and that's how we like figured out that it is like a scent trail that is left on the ground and not a like homing system they have innately somehow. You know, like it's a thing that they're following. And so yeah, that's another fun one I have.
Oh, poor little ants.
But yeah, so science can be weird because it's really just how finding a way to validly test your hypothesis by removing the thing that you think is doing the thing, if that makes sense, right? So the hypothesis was there is something on the ground, like say the hypothesis is there's something on the ground that is making the ants be able to follow a trail. Okay, let's make the ants further from the ground, and if they go home, then it has nothing to do with that, and if they don't, further studies into being on the ground, sort of thing,
Well,
right?
It must be looked into.
I took I was in the like honors course at my college, which was really fun. And it was a lot on like the thought experiment side of being like a research scientist. And so it was like, all right, here you have to create a hypothesis for why. So we don't know why whales breach. We don't have any concrete reasoning that has been successfully tested as to why whales breach. You know, we have a lot of hypotheses, but they can be very, very hard to test. And thus we do not know. So it was like, come up with a new hypothesis as to why whales breach, and with literally
Your hypothesis.
well, I'm gonna say, hold on, we're getting there, but with zero
Okay.
restrictions, formulate
Grumps.
an experiment as to test your hypothesis, right? So this is like infinite money, infinite capability, right? Like nothing's off the table to test the hypothesis. So my hypothesis was that whales breach because they praise the sun god. And praising the sun god gives them more children, and thus whales with more children teach their children how to praise the sun god, and praise the sun god, and etc., etc. And that's why they breach. Breaching is praising the sun god. How do we test this hypothesis? Well, we build a dome around the earth so the sun god, so the whales see a fake sun that is not the real sun. And then we kill the sun. We destroy the sun. Now there is no sun. So the whales should still breach because they think that the sun is still there. But then if the sun god is indeed blessing the praising whales with more children, now that the sun god is dead, whales that breach and whales that don't will not have a noticeable difference in the amount of children that they have.
Or he just went off and killed the god, guys.
Yep. Hey, I got 100 points. I got full credit on that. Because it was right. There are also questions of like, why is Smurfette the only girl? How is that like evolutionarily sound and like right, you know, this sort of thing. All this sort of stuff. Very, very fun class. I loved that class.
I remember with the Smurfs movie, one of the debates, it wasn't a heavy debate, but it was definitely out there, was there is a main character in that movie who is pregnant. Why aren't the Smurfs questioning that, considering they've only known one female their entire life, and as far as we know, they were all birthed by magic? Why are they not more questioning of that?
Yeah, well.
Because kids movie.
The
That's
Smurfs.
a boring answer.
My answer would be that budding in Smurfs looks like pregnancy. That would be my answer.
Maybe they do work like fish.
So I will say,
Frogs
Pastry
sometimes
Puff,
do that too.
we know that Smurfette was specifically so honestly the Smurfs are
Isn't
really
the lore that she was created by Gargamel?
Yeah. So the lore is that Smurfette was completely created by Gargamel specifically to be evil, specifically to lure the Smurfs away so he could eat them, because that's what he wants to do. He wants to make them into soup and eat them. And now this makes zero sense in any way besides being like Smurfs are somehow just humans that have just never had a woman before, and they're all like regular men. Because if Smurfs were an evolutionarily sound species that reproduced, say, either by social insect rules or just asexual, reproduction, they shouldn't care. Why not, Mason? But they shouldn't care that Smurfette's a girl. They should think she's just a weird...
We talk about everything and anything.
She's just a weird Smurf, If a Smurf at all. They shouldn't be suddenly drawn to, her feminine wiles, right? They should give literally zero shits about that thing. And they should honestly be like, where the fuck did you come from?
That seems in character.
It is. It actually is. However, sadly, they do swoon over her, like, in show. In show. So...
I mean, they did make games.
Yeah, well, the show came first. In show, they do swoon over her, so, you could hand wave that with, like, magic.
There are no rules.
Yeah. See, that's the difference, right? Yeah, no, it wouldn't. So there's two options, Pastry Puff. There's two options, and option one is that they're all technically biologically female, and Smurfette is more actually biologically a male, and they live in a social insect society, and the way social insect genetics work is that if they're unfertilized, they're females, but they're not, they're females, and then if they're fertilized, they're males. And only the males can, like, fertilize other eggs and stuff like that. So that's how bees work. And so all females are fully related to the queen, but the queen is only half related to the females, and the males are only half related to females, and all that sort of stuff. So that's saying that Papa Smurf is the Queen Smurf, and he has all the Smurf children, and they're all half, they're unfertilized. And then Smurfette is a fertilized Smurf magically, and so she's the male. Oh, of course, Mason, but that's the fun of it. Yeah, no, that's the vibe, Pastry Puff. That's exactly what it should be. And that's nearly what it is, except
absolutely.
They do still swoon over Smurfette in like a classic, old cartoon
kind of way.
There's a woman here kind of way, They do still do that. And they kind of fight over her a little bit. She never gets with anybody. And then there's suddenly, at some point in the season, there are Smurf children, which you don't know how they come to be. And there's also Grandpa Smurf, which is above Papa Smurf. So,
I definitely missed that season.
Yeah, it's a later one. But I would treat the Smurfs like bees, if I'm being honest, because their colony works like bees, and then you just do it the other way. They're just masculine, but they're like, for reproductive purposes, all female, like bees. And Papa Smurf's just the Queen Smurf, and Grandpa Smurf is the old Queen Smurf, which they just, they don't kill in Smurf society. They, what is old? Respect your elders. They have more, intelligence than a bee does. If he's not hurting anything and they have the food, why not? He has wisdom. He takes care of the baby Smurfs,
got a high
so
wisdom stat.
He's there. That is true, Pastry Puff. That is, especially because she has like the hair, right? She has the pretty blonde hair. So that could be definitely in like a way like colorful birds, right? Sort of work, right? And that's what even makes it more sense that she would be the male, sexually, not like, feminine wise, you know, who cares how
males
how
always
the
have the bright
dichotomy is.
colors and the
Exactly.
flamboyant,
So if she has the hair, that can be like a,
extras.
ooh, how nice, you know. Did she originally have black hair? Maybe when she was evil. Either way, it doesn't matter. None of the other Smurfs have hair. Maybe Papa Smurf has white hair, but he would be double, so it would work out. Papa Smurf. He has a
Can't believe we're
beard.
actually
He has a
doing this.
beard. That's what it is. He has a beard. But he is special too because he's the Queen Smurf, right? So that's fine. No other Smurf has hair, to my understanding.
I don't think so. I actually pulled up an image of the Smurfs. No, they don't.
No, some of the baby, like the baby Smurfs do, but yeah, none of the regular half, you know, unfertilized Smurfs have hair.
I hate that when I type in Smurfs, I get the live action one immediately.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's sad. Okay. Well, okay, I gotta check this in the old cartoon. Because there is one Smurf in the live action who has sideburns and they're red.
What? Who is it?
Gutsy.
Oh, Gutsy?
But I don't know if that's how it was in the cartoon.
Oh, no, he does.
Is the live action canon to this?
Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. I don't know. It looks like he may. It looks like that
That's
one's a.
hard to say.
It
Our
looks like
theory might
he's
be
a
falling
newer
apart.
edition.
Oh,
Or original?
I do see him in cartoon style, like classic
But I also
style.
saw ones without
Are these
it.
fan drawings or are these legit?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I can't tell.
I'm looking up the original Smurfs lineup.
This rabbit hole goes deeper than we thought, guys.
It's a big rabbit hole.
Nope, that's a crayon behind his ear. No, none of the OG Smurfs have hair.
Yeah, I'm looking at this poster of all of the Smurfs. The original Smurfs from the comic. And I don't see any Smurfs with hair. Besides Papa Smurf having a beard. Which is like a special thing that is talked about that he has. Yeah, no.
Our theory still holds.
Yeah, none of these Smurfs besides Papa Smurf and Smurfette have hair in the original. All right then.
Film theory over here.
Yeah. Remember-
Cartoon theory.
Yes, Patry Puff. That is what we're concluding. And she's like the prettiest, you know, fanciest one, and that's why they're interested. And that's why it's a whole thing. But that's why Papa Smurf is specifically not really interested, because he's the Queen Smurf. And he wouldn't need necessarily, you know, he's like threatening the whole thing. Yeah, so you know, very, very fun. There's your Smurf lore for the day.
There's your Smurf lore for the day.
There's your Smurf lore for the day.
You didn't think you'd get it, but now you have it.
We talk about
Enjoy.
Smurfs.
Do
Now,
with
you
that
know what I
info what you
liked?
will.
I liked the Snorks. Did anyone else watch the Snorks?
I did not watch that.
The Snorks were so much better than the... I will say, the Smurfs... Gargamel is very,
Dumb.
No... He's a the original Gargamel is very much, like, anti-Semitic as
Oh,
a character. Yeah. But the Snorks, nah, they're chill. And you finished it, Pastry Puff?
Adaptation.
Oh, the Snorks would have been so much better. They're underwater. They're cool.
We could have had Avatar, but with Snorks.
The main character's name is All-Star.
Oh, come on, guys. Golden opportunity. Why didn't
Does
you
anybody
do it?
else know about the Snorks? They have a fucking octopus dog.
Oh my gosh, today's tomorrow. Nice spaceship hub.
It's so cute.
Is your piece ready for the anniversary? Oh, you already said
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
I'm behind. Sorry.
Yeah, the Snorks. They were cool.
That they were. Even though I never watched them, I will just take your word for it. You know what wasn't cool? That gag anime we tried watching.
Oh god. Okay, guys. So Mars and I, we don't get to watch anime with each other in person as much as we used to. So when we do get to, we decided, hey, we're gonna watch the first 3 episodes of like some anime we're interested in,
and then
and
we'll book club it by watching it on
Yeah.
our own time, talking about it, and
Exactly.
all that good stuff.
Exactly. And so we had this one lined up for 2 times now. We had originally lined it up, but we didn't get to watch it the last time we hung out. And it's called Space Battleship Tiramisu. And all of the art, like all of the images that come up, is this guy in his spacesuit, in the
Trying to eat
like the
some
helm
food.
of his mecha or his spaceship or whatever, and he's just eating food. And it's like, okay, that seems fun, right? What is it about? That seems interesting. Like, you know, that seems like it could be a fun
Maybe
time.
it'll be food wars in space.
Maybe it's food word. Maybe it's like kind of funny,
that was the hope.
goofy slice of life, sort of like of like a mecha pilot,
But with
you know, like just fun sort of thing. So we finally last Saturday, most recent Saturday, we got to watch it, and we found out, oh, okay, every episode is only like 7 minutes. It's not like the full episode 22 minutes. And so
make
we're
the
like,
3-episode watch a lot easier.
it did make, thank God it was only 7 minutes. So now,
I
first
know,
of all,
right?
all of the characters are named after like car manufacturing companies, which is honestly not the worst thing. The main character's name is
bad.
Subaru. There's another guy, his name is Hummer. There's another guy, there's a woman whose name is Honda. There's another guy whose name is Isuzu, right? So like they're definitely like a theme, and it's whatever. That's fine. No issues there. I will say it's a
I
little
didn't have an
funny to
issue
keep
with
calling him
that.
Subaru, and my brain is like, haha, because I have a Subaru. So it's only like, aha, hee hee. Fine.
But I will say this, at least for Subaru, that's not the first time I've heard that name in
That's
an
all. Yeah,
anime.
exactly.
So, like,
And
it could
Honda
fly over
was
your head,
spelled
or you could be chuckling every 5 minutes.
Honda,
It depends on your level of
HANDA
knowledge.
in Vampire Dies, but not Honda, you know, but you know, whatever. Yeah, exactly, Mason.
Literally,
And
those
so
were the
the
characters' names.
first episode opens, and he's the guy, and he's like, like I have such sanctuary in my cockpit. This is where I belong. I can be at peace, can be whatever. And the
Typed it
guy,
very strangely though.
yeah, he was being a little weird, but it's okay. It's whatever. He gets like a call from like the dispatch guy, and he's like, "Hey, you gotta go, you know, beat the bad guys. You have like 10 minutes or something." And he's like, "Great, that's 5 minutes to eat my pork skewer. Let's go." And we're like, "Okay." And he has difficulty eating the pork skewer, and it gets everywhere in his airlock, and it's all messy, and he's full of lettuce as he kills the bad guys, but he comes back and he's covered in the little shredded lettuce, and it's like, oh, okay, funny. Then he's taking a shower, and this other guy comes along, and it's a communal shower, that's whatever, right? But he starts making very not cool things at him
Passes
about
at him,
dropping
I
the
guess.
soap and shit, and it's just like, no, we're not here for this. And then the narrator kicks in, and that's like a whole thing, and it just got worse and worse. I was telling Dylan about it, and he was like, I want you to never talk about this again.
Joke so
Mars, what did you
hard.
call it?
But
Incel humor anime?
oh, Incel the anime.
Incel
called
the
it
anime.
Incel the anime.
Do not watch it.
And
Very
the
disappointing.
reason I called it that was for one specific plot, quote unquote, in one episode.
So bad.
Where the commander's daughter comes in, and not only
Is she
calling
classic
him
hot
Papa all
anime
the
girl?
time, which I'm like, okay, that's not great, but like, I get it, it's fine, it's just a name, whatever, we can look past that. She walks in and immediately the main guy, no shade, no
Subaru.
nothing, is just immediately like, tatas. And I'm like, really? This is what we're doing? I'm like, okay.
It gets
they
worse.
introduced her. It can't get worse than this.
Oh,
it got worse.
it got worse.
At one point in the episode, they're forced to switch robots. So he's now in her robot, which of course is decked out with super girly girl stuff.
And
It's
they
all
literally make fun of
pink.
it being like a
They-
blow-up doll, which it is. It really looks like one.
It really is.
It's
It
really
does
bad.
look like one.
It's
It
not
looks
even
like
just
old Bag's
girly.
samurai suit. It's
Yes, it
bad.
looks like Old Bag's pink
It looks
princess
like Old
suit.
Bag's
It's
samurai
really
suit.
bad.
It's terrible. They even had a fucking mobile in the cockpit, and it's like, what
A
are
bad
we
time,
doing?
BCM.
Like this is terrible. But then at one point, he's like, I can't fight in this. It's so girly. Look away. Don't look at me. This is so
He's
embarrassing. And I'm like,
whining.
okay, this is a classic like 2000s trope. I see where this is coming from. Hopefully they're gonna do the thing where, you know, the girly thing ends up being really powerful and maybe he likes it.
And he owns it. He's not afraid of he's
That's not
confident
what
in his
they do.
masculinity.
That's not what they do. What they do instead is he realizes, oh, I'm
This is her
surrounded by her
room.
smell. This is her room. I'm inside her, and I'm just like, Lori, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. I can't.
It's so
I
bad.
want to bail.
We bailed really hard.
That was the
Yeah,
moment
exactly,
I declared
PCM.
It. That was the moment I declared it incel the anime. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
it was so
like,
bad. We were like, nope, this is
not
it.
working.
This is
This
it.
isn't working on a comedic level. This isn't working on an intrigue level. This isn't working on anything.
This
And
is not
guys,
working.
For as much as Ori and I joke about being ace,
I mean,
does
we
not
are ace,
mean
but-
we are prudes. No, we are ace. But we're not prudes.
No.
We don't mind occasional sex jokes.
We love
they
The
have to
Vampire Dies
be
in No Time.
Well thought out sex jokes. They have to be funny.
They have to be actually funny. They have to be not
Like, At
demeaning
one
or
point, the show
degrading.
just felt like we're just saying stuff for the sake of saying stuff. Like there wasn't even a plot.
Well, she looks good in a dress, PCM, but she also looks good in a suit.
I mean, she looks fabulous in both. Why not both? Both.
Why not both? Both is good. But
Both
yeah,
is
we
good.
love The Vampire Dies in No Time, which is very,
Vampire Diaries
very much
in no time
like
is phenomenal.
a
And it
sexually
definitely
joke
has
show.
Some scenes where they,
But it's
like,
also
they push
not-
the envelope. But it's hilarious.
It's very funny. It's not only like sexual related jokes, right? There's
They
other
mix it
jokes in
up.
it. But it's never
They
like
mix
the
up
gag.
formula, and they never do it in a demeaning way where it's like there's one time where they
Yeah, it's
do
not
it at
demeaning.
the expense of a character. Like it starts off at first. Like there's this one episode about a vampire who like he fights in bikinis because that's
Yeah.
his thing, and he forces everyone else to wear bikinis.
Micro
At first,
bikini,
everyone's like,
micro bikini, very
micro
specific.
bikinis, yes,
like
that's the
barely
important
just
part.
covering everything.
Yeah.
Just.
So at first, everyone's super embarrassed and they can't fight back because, oh, the shame. But then they realize, wait, if I own this, I can unleash my full power. And they
Literally,
just start
that's how they
kicking ass
win,
in these micro bikinis.
Is
That's
by
how they win.
being
By
shameless in
having
it.
confidence and being like, oh, yeah, I can work with this.
I can rock this. Like I'm comfortable in my own skin.
That's how the joke works. It's a subversion of what you expect.
Yeah.
Because it starts off with the over-the-top shame reaction, which we expect, but is also funny because, as the greatest comedians have stated, humor derives from pain or misery, either relating to it or remembering it happening to us. And we feel that on a human level, just that connection level of, oh God, that's so embarrassing. I couldn't imagine if that was me. Oh my God. And you start laughing. Then the joke goes a step further, taking it on its head and saying, oh wait, we can work with this. Let's kick some ass. And suddenly they're beating up a guy, but they're all wearing micro bikinis. Like that's where the subversion comes in.
I got
Pastry
it.
Puff, it's
Vampire
Thank
dies
you.
in no
called The Vampire
time.
Dies in No Time. The main characters definitely have queer platonic going on. It's
Yep,
great. It's
very
awesome.
queer platonic. It's really hilarious. There's a whole celery joke thing. There's a character named Honda. He's funny too. But it's
He's
H-A-N-A-D. It's H-A-N-D-A, not H-O-N-D-A. It's a really funny show. There's a really cute animal sidekick. His name is
Oh my
John.
God.
He's adorable.
John the armadillo
He's
is
so good.
adorable.
But there's
Cute.
there's
one whole episode dedicated to him just finding his way home, and it is the cutest thing ever.
But the other thing,
I couldn't stop laughing.
there's 2 seasons, Pastry Puff. It's great. The grandfather is hilarious in it. One of the main characters, his grandfather is so funny. The dad is also pretty funny. But there's that classic trope of like the editor that will kill you if you don't meet your deadlines. Yeah, it's very, very funny. But it is certainly like an adult show in the sense of that it is like, you know, a lot of sex jokes and a lot of this sort of thing. But it is done very well and hilariously in our opinion. And it isn't solely that. And the other thing I have about that was like bringing Space Battleship Tiramisu even lower than it already was the fact that we didn't understand the world we were in. They were mech pilots. That was all we got. They fought other mechs and they were mech pilots. That was it.
We didn't know for what they
in
were
the Vampire
fighting.
Dies in No Time, you very immediately get the world, right? And it's not like incredible world building, but you understand that it's like this is a world with vampires. And these people fight vampires. And that's it.
You look at something like The Vampire Dies in No Time, and it's a very established thing. Like, Ori, you and I talked about this when we first started watching it. But there is an art style to The Vampire Dies in No Time.
There's a very specific art style with colors.
At any screenshot from that show and immediately know that's from The Vampire Dies in
Also,
No Time.
the opening, the 2 main characters dance, and it's really good.
They have such a specific use of how they shape the buildings, how everything plays into the foreground and the background. It's very defined. So even if I knew nothing about that world, I can at least still recognize it. In Spaceship Tiramisu, we're in space, which is already pretty nebulous as a concept. So what do you do from there? Okay, well, you can make the space station really memorable by giving it these recognizable features. Like, why do people remember Cowboy Bebop? For all the different buttons, for all the ways they animated that ship and really gave it an identity. Spaceship Battle Tiramisu, you got the boss room, which, to my recollection, Ori, and please correct me if I'm wrong, they kept mostly in shadow.
It was that classic, like,
and you could see the head of the organization, and that was it. Okay,
yeah, it was that classic, like, council, like, shadow room.
Yeah.
And very plain.
Subaru's room. Okay, maybe at the least we could expect a poster on the wall, or something that identifies him as a character. Nope, he just sleeps in the barracks, and it's very empty and very samey. Okay, what about the rest of the ship? It's nothing you wouldn't see in another space show. And I think that's what's...
It's just very boring. But on top of that, the bigger thing that got to me was, like, in Vampire Dies in No Time, we immediately, in episode 1, get, this guy's a vampire hunter, and this guy's a vampire, right? Well, and that is the world that we're in.
To the... Oh, no. You know what's the difference? Here's the difference. Ronaldo likes what he's doing. Subaru did not. Now, those are 2 very different ideologies to play with, because Ronaldo, he's a vampire hunter because he writes books about his exploits vampire hunting. He does this for a living, and he enjoys the fame and popularity that comes with it. He may not like the deadlines, but he does reap the rewards. And
I mean, who likes deadlines?
Oh, yeah. Well, totally.
But it's a very funny show. Definitely recommend.
Of connection there where you can see he's enjoying it. He's having fun.
Yes, Pastry Puff.
And that brings
I'll tell you why.
The environment of this is a good time and we're here to have a good time. The main character starting out, it almost reminds me, and stick with me here, it reminds me of early Western 2000 shows where the point is to be as mean to the main character as possible. Like, the way they started off with Subaru was basically, he doesn't fit in. He doesn't like talking with anyone. He doesn't even want to be battling, but the cockpit is his sanctuary because that's when everyone leaves him the fuck alone.
Yeah.
It was really, like, honestly, play the Fairly Odd Parents intro over that scene with the whole, Subaru is an average kid and no one understands. That was the vibe I was getting.
But not in a fun, like trauma, having to deal with their issues kind of way, in just like this guy has the shittiest luck and there's no reason for it. We just want him to have the shittiest luck.
We don't know why he's there. We don't know what he's supposed to be doing. We don't know who he's fighting against. That was my biggest problem. In 3 episodes, we didn't even get introduced to the big bad.
The bad guys. No, they're just robots, dudes, mechs. We don't see the bad guy yet.
And I'm trying to understand, okay, if it wants to be a gag anime and not focus on the villains.
I just need more of a premise, man. I just need more of a premise.
Do that, but give me a reason to like the main character.
And again, this is just on top of all the other issues we said before. But what was I gonna say?
Yeah. It was compounded
Pastry
by
Puff.
the bad jokes.
Pastry Puff. So yes, character rooms 100%.
Oh, they're phenomenal.
Great reason to have nonverbal storytelling. I'm gonna tell you why
in their living space
people don't take an opportunity, because they're really, really difficult to draw. And I'm gonna tell you this because making a room looked lived in is a lot of work. Okay? My room that I am sitting in right now is very lived in. If I was to try and draw the room to be the same vibe of my room, I would want to die.
Yeah.
However, this does mean that I did specifically make Hotsun's room in the Bandai not full of stuff, but like very inspired by my own college dorm room. And having things that like would fit in that sort of, environment and things like that like I know college dorm people have or would have, and things that Hotsun has or would have. Right. Now, it's gotta tell you, it's really annoying to have like a ton of posters on the wall and every time, because you gotta do it every time, and when the angle changes, it's a lot. But it is a labor of love. But so I do understand why people make rooms empty because it's tough. There's a lot of work, but it certainly
not an easy feat.
Can be very worth it. But, all the good rooms are really, really busy, unless specifically they're supposed to not be because the way the character is meant to live and act. Like this character specifically is like, I'm a minimalist, or I never had stuff, whatever it is. But that's why. And then on top of that, especially when it comes to like comics and stuff, a lot of like the webtoon, is it Canvas? Or webtoon original creators have to use just for ease, like the pre-made sort of background things, and it's just like a lot of samey sometimes,
Yeah. But that's the nature of the beast sometimes.
As the nature of the beast.
PCM, there's definitely a way to be mean to main characters. Like, you either want to see them overcome the thing that's giving them trouble, or you want to see them get their comeuppance or learn their lesson. That's a way to be mean to a main character. Yes, hi, Hotsun.
We're mean to our main character, but we're not incessantly, the world is out to get him.
Well, here's the thing, too. And I think this also bothered me about Spaceship Battle Tiramisu, is that Subaru, he hates his life. He hates that he has to pilot this mecha. He hates basically everything he has to do. He hates the people. He hates everything. And he's never fully punished for it. Like, it's just kind of stuff happens to him and he declares it either the worst thing in his life, or stuff just happens to like fall in his favor, like the episode with the female pilot. The only episode I could think like where they tried to quote unquote punish him was the episode with the dog. Like, he tries to adopt a space dog and it ends up growing to enormous size. Think the episode of Teen Titans where Starfire adopted
It gets Silky, yeah. Yeah, literally and that, but done worse. And in like 30 See, the problem is
Here's
being
the
that
thing.
it's
There
7.
was no funny payoff in that
No.
episode. The way they kept emphasizing, oh, he's gonna grow to massive size, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. I was getting ready for either that dog to start eating crew members a la Spirited Away style, or start tearing holes in the ship. But what does he do? Subaru immediately tries to take him to the cockpit, and he just he grows big, and he's so big he takes up the camera. Oh. Why is that funny? And then when he leaves him in the box in space, I'm not laughing. The dog's sad. How is this funny?
The dog is very sad. And Subaru's sad. And Subaru's sad. But no. What was I gonna say? Oh, so every episode is 7 minutes, right? That's fine. I'm okay with that. In The Vampire Dies in No Time.
7-minute shows work.
Well,
check out Senyu for a really good example of
in
that.
The Vampire Dies in No Time, every episode has, I believe, 2 different storylines to it. 2 different arcs to it. Okay? And so it is...
And those are half-hour
equivalent.
episodes.
Well, they're the 22-minute episodes. So it is the equivalent of saying that they have 11-minute episodes, right? Okay? It's not impossible. The problem is that Space Battleship Tiramisu has 7.5-minute episodes that have 2 to 3 things every episode. That dog episode was not the entirety of that episode.
It was maybe 2 minutes long.
That's
dog
2
bit minutes to get attached to this character, care about Subaru's plight, and then be on board for the quote-unquote comedic fallout
too
of it
fast.
that was not satisfying in the slightest.
It's too fast.
You know what? No! Vampire Dies in No Time had an episode about taking in the thing you shouldn't take in and then it running amok, and did it so much better with vampire vegetables.
Oh, yes.
Vampire Dies in No Time did this plot line, and they did it so much better.
Vampire Dies in No Time is really good, guys. If you want just a fun, goofy gag anime, that's the one.
Firstly, they took advantage of their concept. They basically said anything in this universe, if it can be bitten, if it can be turned, it can be a vampire. So why not have vampire vegetables?
It's so good. It's very good.
Which already is a great concept. One, that's freaking hilarious. Immediately you start wondering, what the hell does that look like? What does that mean? How the heck can they solve that? And then when you see it play out, it's like, oh, they use this idea to its full potential.
So good, so good.
I wanted to like Spaceship Tiramisu. I really did. The
art
promo art looks so promising.
Fun.
The voice actors are trying.
I think they're doing fine. The content's just kind of...
I'm just so sad they were given a bad script.
Yeah.
We did watch it in dub, which honestly heightened the cringe because we could understand the jokes immediately and we didn't have to read subtitles.
I'm glad we watched it in dub because I didn't need it to go on any longer by not realizing how cringy it was as soon as we did.
Nope, we quickly nixed that one.
Cringe is heightened in your native language.
I don't watch this anymore.
Yep. We were both going through it and we hit that third one and we both kind of looked at each other and we're like, we're done. This is it.
Oh, when will you give Noop a break? PCM?
Oh my goodness. PCM.
Let her have a break. Oh my god. That poor Noop.
That poor Noop.
Yeah, watch The Vampire Dies in No Time. It's so good.
It's on Page Your Post list.
It's one of the best gag animes I've seen.
It's really fun. And like I said,
I said it.
The main characters in the opening of the first season, they dance.
Yes, it's very fun.
And in the ending of the second season, in one of the last episodes, they sing.
Yes. Oh, it's so good.
It was so good when they sing.
Can you tell musical episodes are the way to our hearts?
I love when the voice actors get to sing. We watched that Cute Earth High Defense Club. We watched the movie.
Oh my god.
And it's basically
the whole thing was basically a demo reel for their album.
Yeah. And
with
it was, I will say,
But
they gave
those songs were
every
pop.
character like a different musical vibe, which was really interesting. It was like I was like because
big thing with anime especially is giving characters character songs. Like the Attack on Titan characters had character songs for their series. Bungo Stray Dogs had the characters sing songs for their characters. It's really interesting. Like, this is a phenomenon you really don't see, at least in Western media.
Not unless they are specifically a
Disney
musical.
Channel.
Not unless it's specifically musical related, right? Like, you definitely had musical shows, but then you had non-musical shows. There was never really an in-between unless it was a specific gag, right?
It would be like if you took Luce from the Owl House and then gave a character song to her, gave one to Amity, gave one to Ida. Like, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like, the song Eren Yeager sings is called Helpless World.
But it's not like Phineas and Ferb where it's just a good vibe all the time, you know? There's a difference.
But like in Attack on Titan, they don't sing at all. That's not even part of their characters. But here are the voice actors singing as their characters in this very J-pop song.
Honestly, I think that, like, okay, I'm gonna tell you. So animation is very expensive, all right? We're talking incredibly expensive. So expensive that when a network goes in on an animation, it's with the nearly explicit idea that this will sell merchandise. Yep. Merchandise is how they make their money. That's why a lot of animes get like a season and it's based on a manga, because it's specifically to promote you buying the manga, right? Or the magazine that it comes out in.
It does have a built-in fan base already.
Yeah, but the animation is a viable thing in capitalistic society because of merchandise sales, okay? Not because of the money you spend on having to watch it, whether that be like having cable or a streaming service or anything like that. Okay, why am I saying this? Western animation decided that the way to do that is to market to children who don't have their own money but can ask their parents to buy stuff for them. That's why, especially in Western culture, animation is seen as a kid's thing and seen as very marketable. And when you watch old kids animation on actual TV, it's constantly, the joke is that it's constantly interspliced with, get the big battle. Gumball does a joke on this, right? They go to that thing, and it's like to sell merch, it cuts in and it's like, oh yeah, get the battle guy, spend your credit card. Like, it's a whole thing. I think that anime won, quote unquote, in a sense, because they marketed a lot of their stuff towards that adults, people with the money, want to buy the merch. And anime, and in Japan specifically, but a lot of anime, they make a lot more merch than American companies do. When you try to get merch that is interesting merch that you want for any Western cartoon, it's pulling teeth. I think Gravity Falls is the biggest one, with getting the Book of Bill now, getting the actual journal number 3, like these sort of things.
Impossible.
But what official Amphibia merch is there? I don't know. Now there's a fair amount of official Adventure Time merch. That is a big thing. But it's like, what, and if they do make merch, it's like the bad quality, like children's toys that are meant to be played with, not displayed, right? Not displayed. So they really gotta...
cheap little bits of plastic.
Exactly. So, versus anime, it's like, I have spent so much money on Dungeon Meshi related merch because I'm very happy that finally it's getting merch because, it's an anime. And it's just like, oh my god. But okay, I just got I really like Sasaki and Miyano. It's an anime. but I've bought
It's
the
so good.
entire manga now because of the anime. Okay.
She bought the entire manga.
I bought the entire manga.
She bought an art book.
I bought the
and
anthology.
She bought the DVD.
I bought the DVD, and I also bought the art book. And what I want to say is about the art book is the art book had like, it's called like a band, and it's a specific thing that like a lot of books and manga have in Japan that is like it's like an ad that goes, it's like a little strip of paper that like gets wrapped around the book for when you like buy it, because they're all like shrink wrapped in plastic. You don't like, you can't read them in the store in Japan. And it's like an ad, okay? And I know now about all of the stuff that is Japanese only Sasaki Miyata related. They have the novelizations aren't Japanese only, but they have 2 novelizations, 2 books of novelization, the whole manga. They have 2 audio readings of it. So they got voice actors to read, sadly it's only in Japanese, to read. I mean, it's an anime now, but still, they have more than what we have, right? That was before it was an anime. They got these like audiobook things, right? They, here's something else. It's like just a bunch of like promotional stuff and like other like, you know, just fun little things. Like a ton of stuff, right? They know how to make the merch, guys. Like, what do you not understand? America, please. You know,
Take notes.
Take note.
Please.
Why is it only Disney that has it, and you can only get it in Disney? Why do you not promote it?
Because then that forces you to go to the park
Yeah.
and spend lots of money.
See, there's too many
too.
levels, right? There's too many levels.
Yeah. See, they layer it in just that way to get you to spend as much
Versus,
money as
I have
possible.
spent more money than ever on freaking literally buying live figures.
I feel like in the last 2 years, both you and I have shot up in terms of how much.
Well, we both got
merch
jobs.
we've been buying. we both got jobs. We both have the freedom to order the stuff we want.
We both have jobs and thankfully jobs and a lifestyle that allow us to have disposable income.
Disposable. There
That's
you
the word
go.
I want. Disposable income. So yes, of course. I bought the Dungeon Meshi art book.
That happened earlier tonight, but I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so it's just like, just anime knows how to market stuff, okay?
They really do.
If the majority of the so this is interesting, right? The majority of anime related stuff that I have is official merchandise. Okay? We're talking official. I have fan art. I have fan created content that I have purchased, but the vast majority of my anime related merchandise is official content. Official license. Versus when you go to Western stuff.
Hi, Clance.
Yeah, God, don't fucking start me about Voltron. I don't think I have a single official Voltron thing. I have some video game stuff. I do have officially licensed Zelda stuff, and like they gave me a poster in like the HD Twilight Princess that I have. Of official Adventure Time poster. See, Adventure Time knew how to do merch. They did like a lot of merch.
Well, Adventure Time did take a lot of their cues from anime.
Yeah, Adventure Time did a lot of
I'm not
merch.
surprised that
They
they
have tons of
actually did
posters.
good.
They have like the clothing bits, you know, and all this stuff. They did a lot of stuff. And I also have an Into the Spider-Verse official poster. But my Gravity Falls poster is fan-made. My Voltron poster is fan-made.
Yeah,
My
look at
Outcat
that.
poster is
Yeah.
officially licensed. But yeah.
What a coincidence! I have an officially licensed
Ah,
Outcast poster
yes.
as well.
How crazy.
I know there are 2 in existence.
It's kind of wild seeing it up there with everything else. Because it looks really official, I gotta say.
It really does.
Having it up there with all my other, like, merchandise that I've purchased, it's like, wow. Wow, you've made it.
It's like, wow, we're on our own wall. Hashtag goals.
Hashtag goals. Speaking of Waldo, I need to go tack down this poster again. It keeps wanting to come up.
Oh, damn. Alright, I shall keep them entertained. You know what? I'll tell that story I was saving. So Ori couldn't find the word she was looking for earlier, and this story relates to that. My dad and I were going to pick up dinner tonight, and we settled on tacos, because we hadn't had those in a while, and I was craving a really crunchy taco. Spoiler alert, I did not get my crunchy taco, and I was very sad. But that's
the
okay.
worst.
Yeah, it really sucked. I had to settle for a soft shell, and I hate soft shells.
I love
so
hard shell
much.
tacos, but they're not authentic. And so when you go to a really good, like Mexican place, they don't have hard shell tacos, and it's a conundrum.
Sorry. I like the crunch.
I want the crunch. Okay, continue.
I want the satisfying crunch. So here's how my family likes to do it, because we don't like the pre-made tacos, right? Because you pick them up from the restaurant, then they get in the car, and then you have to drive them home. Now, when you have the hard shell, it becomes very soggy because of all the lettuce, the meat, and everything, and that's typically what happens when we go to restaurants. So my dad has settled on, okay, let's get a deconstructed taco. We'll put the meat in like one takeout container, the lettuce in another, and we'll like make the tacos at home. They're just gonna give us the fixins for it. I was like, okay, most places are willing to do that. My dad did not call it a deconstructed taco. So we walk up to the counter. After a couple minutes of perusing the menu, seeing what we could get, he turns to the waitress and he goes, "Hi, yes, I'm wondering if you could do a decomposed taco for me." I'm like, that's not the word you want, Dad. It's not decomposed. And this poor woman, she's looking at him. You could just imagine like the little 3 dots above her head, like, what is this guy talking about? Oh, you mean you want everything separate? Yeah, we can do that. Like, she clued in eventually.
Oh my god.
Like,
oh, deconstructed.
I sat him down again, like, after we placed the order. I'm like, Dad, you said decomposed. I was like, oh, what word did I mean? Deconstructed! So he's like, what do you mean I can't decompose a taco? I can compose a musical score. I can compose an opera. Why can't I compose a taco? And I'm like, well, I guess you could. Then why can't I decompose a taco?
Because you can't decompose any of those things you composed, Your Honor.
Case in point. You can't decompose an opera. Just because you can compose something doesn't mean you can decompose it.
Also, decompose is specifically a chemical process.
Yeah. Well, that's why, like, every time you say decomposed taco, everyone's mind immediately goes to rotting. Because anytime we use the word decompose, it's usually some organic substance decomposing into the ground. So people are like, why does this man want a rotting taco?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
No, exactly, Pastry Puff. That's exactly what I was imagining.
Your Honor, tap!
Decompose
If
specifically.
I can compose an opera, why can't I compose a taco?
Yeah, decompose specifically means to make or become rotten, decay or cause to decay, or to break down into component elements or simpler constituents. The point being that you have made it chemically different.
Check this. There are 2 definitions for compose. You have composition of the elements to constitute or make up of a whole. The system is composed of a group of machines, so something to that effect. Mm-hmm. Or to write or create a work of art, especially music or poetry. Now, I could see someone arguing that food is a type of art, and therefore you can compose a taco.
The difference...
Because the way you might make a taco could look different to the eye.
No.
Like a work of art.
The point, though, you have to make to your father is that while compose and decompose are just the word compose with the like prefix on it, they are not opposites, right? That's the thing you gotta
And
realize.
this is why English sucks.
This is why English sucks. Just because decompose has the anti-prefix to compose, they are specifically inherently
Very
no
different
longer
things.
opposite. They're related, no question, but they have specific meanings that
Definitely related.
cannot be used
But the
to
usage
reverse the
is
other thing.
different.
That is very true, Mason. Everything can be about art if you think about it. I mean, that guy taped a banana to the
Isn't that
wall.
what we do?
We
We make
make
everything about the art.
it's comic corner, you know. That's how it
I'd
goes.
say that's on brand.
It is on brand.
But that's my funniest story for the night.
Oh, I wanted
Yeah.
to say,
Confidently ask the waiter for a decomposed taco.
my
Instead of
my
a
birthday
deconstructed
is
taco.
Saturday. Yeah, Saturday.
Yes.
And Doug gave me a birthday present, which is honestly very surprising. We're usually not like a gift exchanging thing. But I'm sorry, I just ate chocolate. Hold on.
That's okay. Poor Hori can't tell her story.
The chocolate was too enticing.
Hi,
Hello, Train Master. He gave me a bug shooter gun,
Oh my god.
the salt shooter gun, and he's like, so you can shoot lanternflies from 3 feet away.
Epic.
So I'm gonna have to rig it up and just keep it in my car. And I'll have to see how it works. Yeah, I'm excited.
That's
It's good to see you too,
friggin'
Train Master.
based.
Do
Good
you
to
have
see
model
you.
trains, Train Master? I want a model train, if I'm being honest. I've seen
Oh, model
some
trains are
really
so cool.
nice Christmas train ones, and I would
have
love to
one.
have one. I have like
I have
like
two
the-
sets, actually.
I have like an inexpensive version of a Lionel train. You know, like the very commercial. I love it. It's great. But I'm talking about like I want like an O gauge. They're like metal, you know, they're like so pretty.
The good stuff. Ooh, what kind of trains did you take pictures of? Yeah, that's like the good ship. That's a top of the shelf shit.
You film train videos, passenger trains and freight trains. Very nice.
Ooh, those are cool. Nice. I remember my family, we took a trip. We took the ferry, and then from there, there was a steam train event going on. That took us out to a paddle boat. So we took the steam train to get to this river, and that was really cool because the interior had all the old-fashioned seeing. Like, they hadn't updated anything. It was all very like Victorian era, which was really friggin' cool. I think I took pictures of the inside of that train. I'd have to double check. But it really felt like you stepped back in time when you went inside it. It was awesome. Very rickety rails, though. Like, you could feel every bump and every movement of that train. Is the chocolate just that good?
No, I'm specifically trying to find the gingerbread Christmas train that I had been eyeing.
Ooh.
Honestly, much more of my Christmas
just
money
landed.
goes to nutcrackers. I spoil myself with nutcrackers for Christmas.
It's a worthy investment. They're so pretty and so nicely decorated.
Yeah, I love my German nutcrackers so much.
Oh, you upload some train videos? Nice. That's super cool. Aside from that, nothing too interesting today. Oh, that does sound familiar, Mason. I think it was last Christmas you showed up. Weren't we preparing
yes,
nutcrackers
we
in
did do a lot of
Discord?
Nutcracker stuff. Yeah, we were. I'm just trying to find this one gingerbread one.
You guys gotta show off the new ones you get for your collections.
Yeah, or he's gotta save up so that I can frickin' go and buy myself way too many.
She has to recover from all her Laios and Sasaki and Miyano.
Literally, it's
spending.
mostly Laios. Oh! And then, so I went to go buy the Sasaki and Miyano DVD, right? I knew Mars had bought it. I was like, okay, I love
have
this
to
show.
ask,
It's really
Did
nice.
you get it from the Crunchyroll store?
Yeah, I
or
did.
elsewhere?
I
'Cause
did.
I got
got
mine
it
from Crunchyroll.
I got mine from the Crunchyroll store.
Okay.
And that's the only place you can really get it. And while I was there, I learned that they're making the full set remaster of the Art High School Host Club.
Oh, she's doomed.
And I pre-ordered it because I need that.
She's
I need that.
doomed.
Mars sent me this like little Instagram reel and it was like a way to show off your manga. And it's like, yes, I need to do that. I need to do that. It was
just
really
too damn
nice.
Good. It's
so good.
beautiful. Oh
Okay, look at this lovely train. This is the gingerbread train.
Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't it awesome?
That is so you.
It's
Oh my
called
God.
Gingerbread Junction.
Pastry Puff.
And I
they
want it really
made
bad.
a remaster of Orin High School Host Club
Yeah.
on DVD.
Yeah. And it's on
I think it's
Crunchyroll.
available
It's on the
for
Crunchyroll
pre-order.
store for pre-order, and it's honestly super cheap for like anime DVDs. Like I was looking, because what I had done something and I was like on Amazon and it came up. It was like part 1, part 2, and they're like expensive, you know, because they're like kind of imported from Japan. Sometimes it's like weird. And then I like went on the Crunchyroll store and I like looked it up just to see if they had it, you know, for like whatever price. And it was like, oh yeah, here's the pre-order for like really
It's like,
pretty cheap.
oh, Gee, thanks. Oh my gosh.
What?
They have a sit-up Sakura from Windbreaker.
Ooh.
Do I get it? He looks so damn cute.
Ooh.
He also, okay, if I get him with Hajime, he's more expensive. Does he sell Shoto?
Yeah, for $33 pre-order,
He does sell so
Orin
much.
High School
Oh my
Host
God,
Club
he's so
Complete
cute.
Series Remaster. I'm so
I'm
sad.
just gonna add to wish list for now.
They have the Kyoya, like,
'Cause I need some self-control.
they have the Kyoya Nendroid, and it's like, I really would rather, like, a full Kyoya, like, model, like, figure.
You want the pop-up parade.
I would prefer a pop-up parade, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I
God.
like my Nendroids, I certainly do, but I just find I don't use the capabilities of them to like be trained out as much, so it's just
I
not
never
as
really
worth
take
it.
out the faces.
Yeah,
or
I
switch out
set them up the
style.
one time the way I
pick
want
one
them,
that-
and then I leave them.
and then
you
I
know?
leave it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ugh.
And that's the way the cookie goes.
You know what else? So this is, we're on Orin High School Host Club, right? So I saw this, what was it called?
I don't know. I'm not a mind reader.
saw. I'm blanking really hard on my head right now.
Yeah, Pastry Puff, Ori and I have this problem. We like to own things,
Yeah.
especially media, like DVDs
Ugh,
especially.
I love having
'Cause, like,
DVDs.
if we like the thing, we
I
want
love
it in
having
our
DVDs.
collection.
I want it for whenever, however. Okay, I also hope they really make a Leos lookup figure because I need that in my collection, if I'm being honest.
Oh, that would be so
beautiful.
damn cute.
Yeah, so there's something, and I can't remember exactly what it was.
Tanjiro is adorable.
But I've always liked DVDs, okay? My childhood, my grandmother lives many states away, and it is about a
First, we were
12...
raised on VHSs,
Well, yeah.
then we were raised on DVDs.
So it's like a 12-hour, roughly, drive one way to my grandmother's house. And it was a trip we made every year, twice a year, for as long as I can remember. Okay? We still do it. And so it's every year, twice a year, 12 hours one way. what I remember at the youngest I can remember is we had a full TV, like the thick TV, right? Like the really thick one with the tubes and everything that was small enough to sit on the center console of the front seats so that I could watch it from the back seat. And it was hooked into the car, and you would shove the VHS tape in it, and I could watch a movie in the car this way. My dad's like a big tech guy. He loves doodads and stuff. And I remember that one time it ate my Jungle Book VHS, and I was so upset. I was so upset. So we had all the VHS tapes, and then DVDs started being a thing, right? Like it took off and it was like really big. So first, my mother made a point that every time a movie that we had on VHS was remastered and put onto DVD, she would get it. That was very important. So we replaced all of our VHSs with DVDs. On top of that, my father got these portable DVD players, and they were like a whole thing because we never had the cars that had them built in. My father had always gotten like portable ones that had little battery packs, and you would switch them out, and all this sort of stuff, and that sort of thing. So it was always, you shove the DVDs, and I remember the first one we ever had did not like to play my Mulan 2 DVD. I don't know why, it didn't like it. It would not play the Mulan 2 DVD, and we got a new one, and it did play it, and it was a whole thing. So that's like a big part of my experience, is like having DVDs in the little case, right? Or you take them out of the case and you put them in that little like flip binder plastic thing.
Yes.
And it was like, okay, that's what I do. What I do is
that shit was top tier.
Make the DVDs, right? And so having DVDs was always a very important thing to me. And so even, you know, after like streaming services started being a thing, like Netflix became basically what it is now, where it wasn't like you were ordering DVDs through the mail. It was like, and Blockbuster died, right? Like after that, I remember going to the Blockbuster near us that was closing down, and I got Astro Boy for like 99 cents. And yeah, I have Astro Boy.
I don't remember taking advantage of that.
I remember my dad was like, come on, Ori.
My parents about that.
My dad was like, come on, Ori, Blockbuster is having its going out of business sale.
I think we were too sad.
We have to go. And so I specifically know that the DVD I got, I have the Teen Titans Season 4 on DVD from that. And I only have Season 4, Mars, okay? I don't have any other season.
Objectively the best one!
That's very true. But, and I also have Astro Boy on DVD, which is one of my guilty pleasure animations. I do enjoy Astro Boy.
That's a fun one.
And so I vividly remember this. And so always having the physical media was always very important to me. And I was always sort of like, my aunt was always like, really, you still buy DVDs? And this is years ago now, right? Like before streaming is what it is today. Like, you still buy DVDs? We just purchase it from like the Verizon, pay-per-view, and you purchase it. So it's always on your TV. And it was like, no, I don't want, like, that's not portable enough for me, right? That needs internet, that needs whatever. This is long before, grew up on Redbox. I remember Redbox. I remember Redbox. We did Redbox.
That was a good one. I missed that.
We did Redbox. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, and so it was like, that's not portable enough for me, right? Like, my world is centered around this 12-hour car ride 4 times a year, one way, when we went to, back and forth each time, that I need it to be here. And this was before like getting like ultimate data plans were a big thing, before like 4G was very widespread throughout the country, right? Like, this is before it was like really, like, I had like the LTG chocolate, right? Like, I was not getting, it was like, oh god, if you pressed that enter button accidentally, you were going to get like beat because it was gonna cost so much, right? Yeah. Like, that was the fear, like, don't press the internet button, it's gonna the end of the world.
I remember that.
Oh shit!
Like, whatever you do, don't accidentally order anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and library DVDs, all that sort of stuff.
I was wondering, because they put the buy and trailer button right next to each
Yeah,
other.
because they want to get you. They want to get you, right?
They want you to slip
They
up.
want
and
you
they
to
know
slip up.
you're gonna slip up.
And so all those sort of things. So I never was
times.
like, we have a massive DVD collection like my parents do, and it was always like DVDs are important, right? I remember going to Best Buy when Best Buy had like a really nice DVD section and getting like the DVDs for the shows.
That.
And,
They had
and
some really good anime DVDs.
they had anime
too.
DVDs. They had a ton of cartoon DVDs. I think every single Rick and Morty
phenomenal.
DVD I have is from Best Buy.
It's gotta
Most
be.
of
I'd
my
be very
Adventure Time
surprised
ones
if
are
it
from
weren't.
Best Buy. Like, it's like a big thing just going and seeing what they had, right? That was such a big thing. And so it's like, and then in more recent years, they're having this sort of like DVD renaissance in the sense of that people being like, guys, you don't, even if you quote unquote buy it from these streaming services, you don't own it. You never own
Yeah.
it. You will
I
never
hate
own it.
that.
If they don't get
can't
the
stand
licensing
that.
anymore, if they take it off the platform, even though you
It's gone.
quote unquote bought it, you do not own it. They can take it away at any moment. And it was like this whole thing. And so it was like, yes, exactly, Enthuse. And also those things like disgust me. I don't want to touch those things. But yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, so it's like, no, I want to own the DVDs. I want to own everything. I'm so happy that I have my hands on the Overgarden Wall DVD, because that thing is like,
That
you can't
thing
get
is
that
so
thing.
Obscure,
You can't
you're
get
never
that
gonna
thing.
Find it again.
you'll never find it. I own every
Like,
Adventure
it's
Time
gone.
DVD. You know, I own all that they
You know
made.
what you can't find either? Infinity Train DVDs.
I never got those.
If I could own Infinity Train DVDs, they're impossible to find.
I have
They
Yuri on
barely
Ice
even
on
made the
DVD.
seasons into DVDs.
I have, you know, all those sort of things. And so it is definitely like a DVDs are very important. If I like a show enough where I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna rewatch it, it's being bought on DVD. Because I don't want it to be taken away from me, right? I know that the internet is fleeting, right?
We are
In the
kid
sense
at
of
the
like,
park holding onto our ball.
yeah, but it's like, I know the
Don't
internet
take
is
it.
fleeting. The site, I'm, you know, knock on wood, very thankful that the site that Mars and I had used for the longest time to, you know, watch all of these things, watch both cartoons and shows, that was what I had watched since 10th grade. I used
Yeah.
this site, and I'm so thankful that it's still around, but like, a lot of them die. A lot of them go away, and that's lost, you know, that's lost, right? I remember being in the era of you could upload those things to YouTube and not have a problem, and you could watch them on YouTube. I watched a lot of Fairy Tail on YouTube, actually, because it meant I could watch it on the TV if I could watch it on YouTube. And, you know, you can't really do that so much anymore. But a DVD it's mine, right? Nobody can take that away from me. That's a big reason where it is like, I do prefer to try and get DVDs that aren't solely Blu-ray, just because it's much easier to find DVD players than Blu-ray players in general. Because that is sort of like a weird niche thing that did beat out the other thing. Same with like, I never want the 4K HD DVDs. Who cares, right?
Oh, God,
Not worth it.
I hate that. I don't need it.
Not worth it. But so it is very much, it's like, oh, you know, you gotta, and then on top of that, I grew up with my dad, who was very much I have a way to watch every sort of media we have. We have both the Lion King movie and Star Wars #4 on Laserdisc. That's something that I love to talk about. My father has a Laserdisc player, and when I was introduced to Star Wars, I watched the Star Wars Episode 4 on Laserdisc, where you have to flip it halfway through. That's such a cool thing to mention, right? I have, do you know Fern Gully? Fern Gully was
I have that on DVD.
Yeah, and the DVD is double-sided. One wide for widescreen and one side for the other one.
What is a Laserdisc?
What is a Laserdisc? It's amazing. So there was an interim time between VHS and DVD where the first quote-unquote thing closest to the DVD was something called a Laserdisc, and they're relatively massive compared to a DVD, and they thus sadly did not take off as hard as a DVD did. So there's this sort of like interim thing, but they're like a record, right? Here's a good picture. They're like a record-sized DVD, right? So they're big, but they're a DVD, basically, but they're very large. However, you couldn't store a lot of information on one side, so you would actually have to flip the disc like a cassette tape halfway through.
Some discs, like some DVDs did this as well.
Well, I know
Like,
the
there were a
Fern
couple in
Gully
those first few
DVD,
years.
was double-sided, one side for widescreen and one side for the other kind that I'm blanking on.
There were also
full
other
screen.
DVDs that had like one side for the movie and then the other side for bonus
For
features.
extras, yeah. So there's a whole thing. And now what's really cool, I mentioned this on a stream before, and it is that, and so these things came in like, they look like records. They came in like record, like record sleeves. Right? So they're basically like the DVD version of a record. And my brain just died. What was I saying?
Oh no.
I got blanked. Oh, DVD stuff. I mentioned this on stream once before, when I had just learned about it. But they're hopefully, and probably, I can't imagine they're not being with the way that like people are being upset about this streaming, you're never owning it, sort of thing. And this like pretty cool, new renaissance of like lost media stuff is that they've basically invented a way to make basically a slightly thicker DVD that can hold one of these things can hold more information than like any other thing we've ever made in that amount of space. It's like an insane, I can't remember the exact amount. New DVD technology. It's like an incredible amount of space. It's a petabit. It can hold a petabit, which is 125 terabytes of data. Okay? Mars just got a computer that has 1 terabyte of data. Having 3 terabytes of data is more than you'd ever really need in vast majority of cases. So a petabit is the capacity of 15,000 DVDs. And this is on the size of like a DVD that's like 2 DVDs stacked together. This is new technology. It's like very, very, very recent. And
which is crazy.
It's insane. And it's like, hopefully, speak for yourself. What do you mean? That you don't need 3 terabytes of data? You need more?
I mean,
than
maybe
that?
when you put all those comics on there and all those files.
Honestly, it's
I
not
could
the
see
comics.
that.
The videos are what eat my freaking memory, okay?
Oh,
it's
I
the
believe
it's
it.
the videos. And I refuse to delete. I don't want, see, that's the other thing. Even though they're uploaded to YouTube, I will never delete them. I don't want to be that they're only on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be that that's the only place that they can ever exist, right? I want to have them. God forbid something happens to YouTube, right? That's why they tell you to get your own comic website, which is on the list of things to do, because God forbid something happens to
Eventually.
Webtoon, right? And oh God, Webtoon. But So basically, guys, if you love something and you have the means, buy it in a way where you physically own it, because in this world, that's the only way you own it. That's why I buy the manga. That's why I buy the DVDs. So good. There's our thing. Also, go read the Ace Attorney AU comic episode.
Yes, please. I'm very proud of it.
It's really fun. I'm sorry there's not a lot of content yet. It's coming.
It's a slow drip, guys. We need.
It's a
stuff
slow
to
drip because
release
there's
during
only 8
hiatus.
pages, okay? And it's only August. You
But,
can
know,
just load
part
them
one
onto a
will
flash
last
drive.
A long time.
Are you talking about DVDs, Mason? Yeah, you can. You can totally do that. I have not a lot of issue with doing that if you specifically don't have the means and want to own it. But I'm saying that if, you know, basically when you become an adult and if you are in a position to splurge sometimes, do it. Ask for it for Christmas, man. Don't be ashamed. In this day and age, who the heck cares?
Yeah. I'm sitting here debating, do I pre-order the Frieren or Sakura sitting figures?
I saw both of those, and I was like, ugh, no. See, I'm thankful in a way.
Little Shark sit is very cute,
I know. I saw that. That was the one I was thinking about. Stark is definitely my favorite.
I will take 3 years to gather the trio. And then I'll have them all sit on my bookshelf, and it'll be very cute.
My whole thing, I'm like, in a way, it's like, thank you, Elias. I'm saving my money for you, so I'm really not buying a lot of other, like, anime figure stuff. I will buy manga. I'm, like, ready for the next Hirano and Kageura. I need it.
Oh, please, I need it.
It's in January, Mars. We'll get there.
I just read up to volume 4, and I'm dying.
It's so good. It's so good. Do you see the side, the now side couple in the side couple thing?
Yeah, the side couple in the side couple.
Yeah. I think that's a BL trope that I just never really thought about. But like,
you know, because
the spin-off side couple,
there's
right?
always a couple A and a couple
Well, because
B.
if the main thing is like the couple getting together, and then of course having more after that is nice, but you know, that's a different dynamic now. So then having a side couple that is like this side couple getting together is like now we have this
we get to have fun
spin-off,
with this
and
too.
now we have this spin-off.
Well, I gotta say, Ichinose and the dorm manager, very nice.
It is very nice.
Poor boy, it's just him and his upset stomach against the world.
His
relate.
poor tummy. So good.
God, and the artwork is beautiful.
Yes. Okay. So when I watched Sasaki Miyano was talking about like, oh yeah, I love this artist, right? Like I love this manga artist or whatever. And I was like, oh, like that. I never really thought about that, right? Because the only main manga I've ever read is Dungeon Meshi, and that's like she has other stuff, but this is like her only like serialized work. She has a bunch of like other like short one-off story things. So I was never like super trying to get it or anything. But then it's like, nope, now I love Sho Harasuno, which is the artist and author for Sasaki Miyano. I want everything they make, please. And of course, if Ryoko Kui comes out with anything else, it's like, yes, I will. Thank you. I will take that.
Yes, please.
Yes, their art book is at my parents' house. I get it on Sunday.
Oh,
and then I'll have both my art books.
As it should be.
Yeah, same with like Sasaki Miyano, they have the Nendroids, but it's like, nah, can I get a little like just the two of them like sitting together figure pop-up parade or something?
You know how they did Yor and Anya sitting on the chair figure?
Yeah,
like
that we saw. Yeah.
Give me them sitting on a bench or like little school steps.
Yeah, anything.
Like that.
Anything.
I'll take
Please.
it. I'll take it.
I just want it. Okay, see, this is why I need to learn 3D modeling, because not only can I make the comic characters, if I'm good enough, I can make at least stylized versions of anime characters that I really want.
Bonus.
Bonus indeed.
It's what we all want.
It's what we all want. We'll get there. It will happen, guys. I know I keep talking about it, but it's on the list. It's slow going. I have a list of things.
It's all part of making time.
Yeah, it's all part of making time.
Making time, making time, making time.
I hope that the course will go a little faster after this week. I do have to watch more, and a lot of it is on like they do anatomy stuff. So
Ooh.
there will be stuff that I do, and we'll see but it might go faster on stream, so there won't be a ton of like times things.
Okay.
So it'll be like one stream, you know, for like humanoid anatomy and like chimera anatomy, which is I'm very excited for Chimera Anatomy.
That sounds right up your alley.
Oh, it is. It is fucking right up my alley.
Ready for that?
Very
please.
Excited.
Yes.
Oh, guys, I gotta tell you guys something because we're on DVD. We're talking about DVDs a lot. While I do not own any official Kim Possible DVDs, my father did indeed. Back in the day, right? This is before like big internet times, right? We're talking like back in the day, managed to record all the Kim Possible episodes, download them from the TV onto his computer, and he ripped me DVDs, and he made like play menus of like the episodes. Like they're kind of official.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like it's epic as hell. Like I watched the fuck out of those. And okay,
See,
it's
I
really,
don't
really
think
funny.
we ever got as fancy with that. We
Can I
just burned the DVDs, and then we're like, "Yep, now we have a copy, and we could take these on car rides."
Can I
Promise
tell you
all of
what's
us get
so
motion sick, so
funny?
we can't watch any of them while we're on car rides.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm very sorry for you. I do get motion sick,
Well,
but Dramamine makes it fine.
I gotta say, my experience with DVDs and the little portable DVD player usually came on sick days. Like I would stay home from school. I had a little tray that my mom would bring me. It usually had like some food on it, stuff like that. And then would also have this little silver portable DVD player. It had a little tiny screen
with a
basically
little
looked like a
battery
mini
pack that slides up and off.
The little battery pack.
The
It was
whole
great.
front opens to shove the DVD in it.
Yup. You pop that sucker open, you put the DVD in, and now you have your little movie
The
playing on your
DVD is
screen.
like
It
as
didn't
big
have a
as the
remote.
thing.
The
Nope.
buttons for enter and arrows were on the
Yep, like a
player
Game Boy.
itself. It was great. It was phenomenal. And that would be how I spent my sick days. I'd either watch it on my little tray, or I'd go down into the den, and there were 2 cushions that my parents would set up on the floor. I'd lay on those, and I'd just like plop the DVD, and I'd watch it like lying down sideways.
Nice.
And that was my experience with the portable DVD player. We did bring it with us. I do remember we brought it with us to Florida for one trip, because it was a very long trip. We spent 3 days in the car all the way to Florida. Very long.
I can see that, Mason.
Very tiring.
Yeah, Florida's far,
in the
man.
hotel room, we wanted to watch some things. It was really funny, because on the drive down, we stopped by some kind of convenience store. I wish I could remember what the name of it was.
Wawa.
But we picked up, maybe it could have been. It was selling DVDs.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know if Wawa sells DVDs.
I don't know. Not
But-
anymore, you know. Who knows in the past, you know what I'm saying?
Possibly. I don't know. Maybe my dad remembers. I could ask him. But we went into the
Buc-ee's.
store and we picked up the DVD because we were looking for something to watch. Like we basically got through our whole collection of Disney and cartoons, and we were like, okay, we want something new. Like we're kind of tired of this. It's day number 1 and we're already like looking for something new. And we found the DVD Quest for Camelot.
Oh my god.
And that was my first experience watching Quest for Camelot, and then that became my sick day movie.
Oh wow.
Like from that trip, it just got integrated, because you know how as a child you have, these are the core movies I watch. I will bounce between this one, this third one, and maybe I'll rotate in this fourth one. Quest for Camelot was one I consistently watched. It was Quest for Camelot, Emperor's New Groove,
Yes.
Land Before Time, most of the Land Before Time movies and their sequels, because we had a lot of those.
I had all of those, man.
I still have them. They're somewhere
Yep.
in this
Oh, I
house.
still have all
I
of these.
to find them. And what was the fourth one I rotate? I remember a lot of Emperor's New Groove. I remember a lot of Land Before Time. I remember a lot of Quest for Camelot.
I loved
was the
Atlantis.
other one I really liked. We never had Atlantis.
I would
We
watch
never had
Atlantis all the
We
time.
never had Treasure Planet until much,
Oh, I
much
watched
later
so
in
much
life.
Treasure Planet. I also loved Mulan.
What?
Mulan
did
was on there a lot.
No, not Fern Gully. Once Upon a Forest. That was it. Once
Ah.
Upon a Forest. That got integrated in there as well. So those were my sick day movies.
See, I have an Earth Day movie list, and that's Fern Gully, Epic, the original Lorax, the new Lorax, because guys, come on, the songs kind of slap, okay?
Oh,
Don't kid
it's a
yourself.
meme.
It's worth it. You know, it's a fun, goofy time.
Good night, Mason.
Good night,
Thanks for
Mason.
popping in. If you have classes tomorrow, good luck.
Yes, good luck with more classes. I think it was those.
Oh,
Those are my like
I friggin' loved Quest for Camelot. I still kind of like it. I get it's a Disney knockoff, but I don't know. The Forest was interesting. I like the main character, and I am a sucker for King Arthur stories, apparently. Quest
King
for
Arthur
Camelot
stories
was
are
the
great.
gateway drug into BBC Merlin. It really was.
I never finished BBC Merlin, and I'm okay with that. But what I liked, what I watched, I enjoyed. But if I'm being honest,
What
I didn't need to
watched,
finish
I
it.
enjoyed as well.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I will absorb the rest through fan fiction, and this is all I need.
I don't know if you have seen it, Mars, but I follow an artist on Instagram who has done a fucking Good Omens BBC's Merlin crossover comic that is still going. Okay, if I see it, I'll send it to you when it comes back up. And it's really interesting. It's where like we're in the modern day, to my understanding, and then Arthur and Merlin are there now with Aziraphale and Crawley. And they're like trying to, I can't remember exactly what they're trying to do off the top of my head. They're like looking for the sword and stuff, but it's a lot of like, we don't understand normal days. And then Crawley and Aziraphale being like, guys, you need to tone it the fuck down. And there's a part where Merlin pretends to propose to Arthur. It's really hilarious. It's really funny. When I find it, it definitely comes up again.
Pastry Puff, I know how it ends too. I gotta be honest. I think it should have been Merlin at the end.
Yeah. This is one of those things where it's like, I enjoyed what I watched, but I have no plans to finish it.
I mean, in the original story, it is Merlin who goes before Arthur. So
yeah.
I'm surprised they changed that and we're just like, let's see how much we can hurt him.
I mean, that's what it was, you know, but
nah, I could just imagine the epilogue. I have read fan fiction of the potential epilogue of if it was Merlin instead of Arthur, and I'm just like, yes, yeah, no, this would have been better.
Can I raise you an epilogue I've been thinking of for something completely unrelated, but it's an epilogue, so that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yes.
I don't know what overcame me.
Is it for our Flagnane's death?
No, it's for our fucking Pathfinder, the Enemies Within campaign.
Oh, okay.
I do not know what came over me. I do not know why this happened. But one day, I'm just sitting there, minding my own business, and suddenly I'm like, wow, I really, really want to draw this like scene as like a little tiny epilogue comic for like Corey and Miss Molly, like really bad. And it's so like I pick you up from after the battle, right? And we're like gone, you know, we leave Casimir because he's, you know, he's evil. We don't like, you know, we're not gonna deal with him. We're just gonna go live our life. We're sad about, you know, he won't let us bury Aloria or do anything with her body, so we just have to move on. No, he literally won't let us near her because he's worried about like revival and shit. And so we leave. We go back to the cabin that had the murder mystery in it. The tavern. That everybody's gone and dead, sadly. The innkeeper's, you know, the tavern keeper died in the whole thing. Everybody's gone.
Is that where I lost Gord?
Yes, this is where we lost Gord. And where we planted Gord. This is where we planted Gord. But we have nowhere else to go. We clean up the tavern, and it's a tavern. So we reopen the tavern as owners of the tavern. And after, like, helping adventurers specifically, you know, continuing to take up, like, you know, jobs around the area, Gord grows into a plant. And we get a little Gord. And then it's us with like the gourd plant over the years. And we get like, remember the watermelon, like the pumpkin little dog in Steven Universe? We get like that kind of gourd. And we have gourd now. And we're just a little happy, you know, group, little happy family running our little adventures, you know, way station tavern. And, you know,
I'm so
we
here
set
for
up
that.
we set up a little, you know, maybe we set up a bizarre spike for Waluigi and Wamio, because if we're drawing in adventures, we need somebody to outfit them and this sort of thing.
I guess I know what your Christmas present is gonna be now.
A fic, yeah.
An epilogue fic.
An epilogue fic. Yeah, I don't know what came over me, but I was just like, wow, this
that's
is
the vibe.
I really like this.
You basically said, like, Corey wants found family, so take Miss Molly back to the
Well,
tavern.
it's like this is all we have, right? We can't go back to Dare. You know, I love Dare.
nothing.
We had nothing. Where are we supposed to go? I don't want to, you know, could I probably go home back to my village? Yeah, but to what? Be a boring mushroom farmer again and be kind of shunned? You know, like, then I left to go do
Where am
something
I
else.
supposed to go? My
Yeah,
father is like,
what are you
dead.
supposed to do? You know, so it's like, all right, we'll pick up the pieces of what was left of our adventurer party, and we'll keep the people that were close to us, basically Waluigi and Wamio.
Maybe Dare finds us years later and we rekindle.
Oh, we would totally be, I mean, I don't think he's not bros, but we just can't go, like, visit him, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he
Let
kind
him
of
come
lives...
to us and they'll be like, Dare, long time no see.
and we would totally welcome him in, and we'd totally do
I
whatever.
have to determine Miss Molly's grown voice.
Ah, there you go. Do poppets grow?
I don't know. I don't think she grows, but I feel like the
You don't think
voice
she'd,
would
like, be
change to reflect
vampire?
the age.
And she'd probably wear different clothes and different hairstyle to mimic being older?
Oh, maybe.
Well, because the opposite would be like in the vampire, in Interview with a Vampire, where they turn that little girl, and while she's like 100 years old, you know, she's literally trapped in like a little girl's body. And they still dress her
That's a
up
vibe, too.
like little girl, you know, and stuff like that. But she's literally like, I don't think she's 100, but she's like a 30-year-old woman or something. And like in her head and like her mental age has grown, but her body and her voice has not changed. And so there's a lot of like, the main character has a ton of guilt about this. Like, really bad, because he's like, I didn't fucking think about this. I just wanted to save her from being killed, you know, by having being, you know, sucked dry by a vampire, right? By his, like, sire, and this whole thing. And so it was just like, wow. So I don't want that to be Miss Molly, right? I feel like she could have a...
Yeah, no.
If she's gonna mentally grow up, she can at least have, like, a wardrobe sort of change where...
I feel like the outside should reflect that.
Yeah, she doesn't have to be, like, taller or very different body shape wise, but like having maybe a bun instead of pigtails or a single braid, you know, or like, and then like a different kind of dress, right? You know, whatever, just to be a little older.
I could also see her growing into more like dark academia and leaving behind like the picnic Julie Garland look.
Yeah. Just something to show that like at least she feels a little older, and in a world of like poppets, you know, it would be
and she definitely
fine.
Doesn't talk about games anymore.
Yeah.
At least not to the extent that she did. Oh, the joys of growing up.
Do they say how old these heritages are? I'm checking.
I will have to check.
I'm just curious about like how old they get, you know, because like elves live longer and stuff like that. Alrighty. See, guys, this is how we make stories on the spot. Literally 90% of a lot of it is Ori being like,
and then we just
here are brain things, and Mars being like, yes, I can make this the big good.
This.
Yeah, literally dragging at you. Here's brain mush salad, and Mars being like, there's something there, and I like it.
I will take this mush and I will turn it into a gourmet meal.
That's basically what the comic was. Mars is like, Ori, what do you want? And I'm like, this. Here's like 80 words. Do it. And Mars is like, yes. Here
Done.
it is. Done.
I have to mention this real quick because I don't know
please.
if we're ever going to talk about Quest for Camelot ever again. And this is just
While
like,
we're here.
This is the perfect moment to mention this. So, Pastry Puff, you would know this. Ori, have you ever watched Quest for Camelot?
I have a long, long time ago. I would not say I know it particularly well.
Okay, so
I think I know Black Cauldron better than Quest for Camelot.
that's impressive.
That one I remember watching.
To make a long story short, Quest for Camelot had a scene that very much stuck out in my mind, especially to little 5, maybe 6-year-old Mars. There's one scene in Quest for Camelot where they're in a forest, they're trying to figure out where the sword they're looking for went. Basically, long story short, Excalibur was stolen by the bad guy, and now all these really bad things are happening. They're on a quest to go retrieve the sword and hopefully beat the bad guy to Camelot. They locate the scabbard, but not the sword itself. So they're in the forest, they're arguing, and all of a sudden, the guy that the main character is traveling with gets shot all of a sudden. He gets shot by an arrow, and he just like falls to the ground, so they have to get him out of there. It cuts away to another scene real briefly, but then it cuts back, and it's like dreary, it's raining, she's carrying him on her shoulder, and then they go into a cave, and she's like begging, like, please don't die, please don't leave me alone. Starts like trying to heal his wound, and then he wakes up, they start singing this really nice ballad, and then he gets better, and it's okay. Guys, if you've read my fanfics, you know that this scene and this particular scenario has stuck with me.
Mars, please watch at least Lilo and Stitch 2.
Basically, anytime I think of a ship, I'm like, okay, which one is Kaylee and which one is Garrett? Is it interchangeable?
Mars.
Who's healing who? Who's saying what? That scene changed something in my brain. Yes, Pastry Puff! I don't know what it was about that scene. I don't know if it's because it's followed up by a musical moment and it's like the emotional climax of the film with the romance, or if it's just like, you don't see that kind of close call done very often, at least not that I remember at that age. Like, I remember at that age, it was like, you either lived or you died in an animated movie. There was never, oh my god, it's a close call, but oh my god, they've been brought back. I was like, I don't know, that stuck with me.
Not at that time, because the next one is definitely,
if you read Healing Hands or Ample
Tangled.
Kiss, you know this fucking scene stuck with me.
Because you definitely have the one in Tangled, but that's pretty recent.
Tangled is pretty recent. Frozen also had the fake out as
You're
well.
right, Frozen does, Frozen does. But,
What else? I'm trying to think of what I watched back then. Land Before Time, they just outright
no,
killed
they're
the
just
mom.
dead.
Like, there was no coming back. Bambi, outright killed.
Okay, I would say the
I
next
watched that
one
a lot, but
after
that didn't
Quest
have
for
anything.
Camelot is Lilo and Stitch 2. Stitch has a glitch. Mars,
Which I never
fucking watch it!
watched.
If you love that shit so much, watch it! Play it!
Okay, I will!
You don't even need to watch the first one. You should,
I
but you
want to
don't
watch
have
the
to.
first one.
Please.
I want to watch the first one.
Mars, if you
I
don't
keep hearing good things.
watch these by time we have next anime time, we're fucking watching just those two. You could watch Leroy. Leroy's good, and the one that leads into the show is also good, but you can watch those on your own. But fucking, if this is the shit where you're like, Ori, this is like shaped my preferences for life, fucking watch number 2.
No, it shaped my preferences for life because it's the have your cake and eat it too. We get the angst, but then we also get the catharsis.
Fucking watch it.
You know, the next thing I saw to do that, maybe not the next thing, but it's only in my mind because I'm rewatching it with a friend right now. No.
Oh.
Attack on Titan. Eren Yeager.
I have such little knowledge about that show.
Oh, guys, I am rewatching it with a friend right now where we're like streaming it together. I'm watching it in dub. And it took some getting used to, but I gotta say, like, I am still crying at a lot of these scenes. It's still horrifying when Thomas gets eaten, so I'm like, okay, Dub is doing something right. Dub is definitely doing something right. I am horrified.
Guys, Mars just showed me that Sayu is, basically Natsu's adopted brother, in Fairy Tail. 1, really epic. 2, I don't like the dub, so maybe I'll just watch the parts for Sayu.
Maybe the dub got better.
No matter
You saw
what,
the dub in its old days.
I
Now
know,
it's new days.
but
I mean,
unless
it's
the
good.
Natsu voice actor is doing a very different vibe for Natsu, I'm gonna be upset. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder if I could watch that for you and then give you the yay or nay.
I mean, I could. I'm already watching it in sub, so like I'm already ahead.
Oh, you're
Welcome
kidding.
back, Enthuse. A lot of
Hi, Enthuse.
it would be hard to just go through it.
Lots
Yeah,
of revelations.
realizing where your preferences lie. Also,
We realized
because I
why
didn't
Mars
say
is
it,
the way she is.
I don't think I showed it while you were here, Enthuse. These are some sneak peeks of Dragon AU stuff, and you guys will get the full sketch spread for free on Saturday, and of course more stuff on the Ko-fi. But I just want to do a little tease of things again because we love it. Look at lovely Dragon Milano Hotsun.
These are fun.
Sizes are variable because all dragons can change their
Dragons
size
can choose
at will.
their shape and size.
Yeah, there's a limit. I don't know what I would define that limit as. Maybe kaiju sized. I don't think
I
bigger
would
than
define it
kaiju
as,
sized.
Like, it can't be world breaking.
Yeah, it can't be like so big that you're like big toe step on city sort of things. But like, I don't know, kaiju size sounds about good. And then we have this lovely Hotsun from
I feel
the
like it works for
medic tier
kaiju, 'cause,
Ko-fi.
like, I could imagine the dragon curling up around a mountain and being
Ghost of
as
Christmas
long as
present.
that.
Yeah. And then this is the head of Milano from that same image. These are from the same image. And I will say, I did way more effort rendering this than I have done with anything else. And I didn't, not anything else, but I didn't mean to do the level of rendering that I did. And I don't regret
kinda
doing the level of
happened.
rendering I did. But I really just kind of got into it and kept going. And it didn't end.
That'd be
But
a
there
vibe.
will also be, Enthuse, there will also be Sinnet, Sinnet Dragon sketches for the next
healing
week.
Dragon, specifically.
Yeah, there's a lot of Dragon AU lore, if I'm being honest.
Oh yes.
It
We are
just
working
came.
overtime.
It just came to me while I was doodling these. I wasn't attempting to make Dragon AU lore. I was attempting to draw Dragon AU, which I indeed did. And then the lore just sort of comes with it. That's what happens with everything, if I'm being honest. You can't really escape it.
Oh, it's impossible. Don't even try.
Lore is inherent. Not necessarily inherent. It's more just like, I have an idea, and then it just spirals into like, oh, and then this, and then this, and this is how it's connected. And this is how, oh.
Like, whole big tapestry of ideas.
Exactly.
Which is what we love to see.
I definitely can't make new forms. Hello, Nicole!
Hey, Nicole! Welcome, welcome.
Nicole, the Band AU comic is available on the Ko-fi tier for Cook tier members and higher. The first part, the first page.
Okay,
And
no
of
one
course-
told me Sonic 3 was announced.
Oh yeah! There's Shadow.
This is the important shit.
I never saw 2.
I didn't see 2 either. I don't know why. Live action just makes me nervous. I never know if it's gonna be good or not.
I will say, with Jim Carrey being Dr. Robotnik, like, I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna have a decent time, you know,
It's
overall.
pretty promising.
He makes it pretty, like, I'm not as scared as I could be.
I did watch the first Sonic.
Yeah, I
movie.
saw the first one, and I had a good time.
That was okay. That was
Yeah,
fun.
there's no words yet, Nicole. It is just the literal first page because we gotta do it slow. Because one, I'm still doing it. I
Oh,
only
there
just
are
finished the
words?
second page.
There
in the first
says words.
No, that's in the Ace Attorney one. The Bandayu one
Bandayu.
just has image, no words yet. Next page has words. But not the very first page. And there's no Bandayu cover yet.
So enjoy.
Yeah, Bandayu Part 1 actually has 13 pages, where Ace Attorney AU Part 1 only has 8 pages. I guess let's Part 1. I would call it Scene 1. That's easiest. Scene 1.
Scene 1.
No Mars dialogue input yet. The next one has dialogue, and basically every page after that. Just the first one is like scene setting, you know.
Because we gotta have our establishing shot before Averitt can walk in and trounce on Hotsun's dreams.
Exactly. But very fun.
Very, very fun. Always.
Yeah, so definitely Ace Attorney AU and Bandayu have like full story ideas that will definitely exist slowly because we both really want them to exist and they're really fun and they're very important. There's also a couple other AUs that may, once these are done, eventually become something more. I think Dragon AU
has been a work in progress.
Demon AU,
for as long as Outcast has been around.
Demon AU is good. I think Dragon AU now has potential, and
Dragon AU has a ton of potential, and I really want to work on it.
We also like Cafe AU.
Cafe AU is really fun.
Those are all of the ones that we're really having a good time with. Because Cafe AU also kind of goes into College AU, just like Band AU kind of has College AU vibes. Like, they both exist during a time where people would be in college.
Yeah.
So it works out. However, it's usually like grad school,
like very
though.
chill times.
Yeah. So it is a slow thing. The goal is to always be that, like, if it goes public, like how Ace Attorney AU is going public, then the Ko-fi members will get something that's Ko-fi only, and eventually it'll become public as, you know, same, so it'll be trades off like that. The ones we're totally focusing on right now is, I know that Ace Attorney AU has a lot more scenes written, has at least one more full scene written, if not 2, for Ace Attorney AU. Band AU doesn't have any more scenes written yet, but a lot of idea in it. Versus the other 3 are, I don't know how much of Demon AU Mars has written, but it was originally just as like
Demon
a fic.
AU has mostly been existing in my head. I know I gave you one part of it as a birthday present one year.
The beginning of it, which is very fun. But it was definitely written more as a fic than a script originally, because it was the birthday present.
I could easily turn that into a script.
100%. I mean, it happens all the time. I'm, of course, visualizing as I'm reading it, you know, of course. But so, yeah, I don't think these characters are ever gonna die for us. I love them too much. Mars loves them too much. I'll never want to stop drawing them. I'm so happy with them.
My kids, I always brag about
Even though every once in a while there's like thinking about future comic stuff, it's always in my head like, these are my babies. Yes. I'll never give them up. I'll never want to stop. I love drawing them. Like I've said before, I draw them all the time, unrelated, outside of the comic, just because I want to. They mean a lot. And I just love them. We think about them all the time.
They're just good. They're good boys.
So I think having AUs...
He's an ass.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a fun ass, though. You know,
he's a fun ass. That makes a difference.
He makes Band AU possible.
He does.
I also, Mars doesn't even know this yet.
He makes Outcast as a whole.
Well, that is very true. That is very true. But Mars doesn't even know this yet. I thought of a medic tier image for Band AU that'll happen eventually, as written down. All I'll say is it's called Backstage Pass, and I won't say anything else. See, that's a lot of times like the names come in because we have like
with that.
Backstage Pass is a good one. That's a Band AU one. Then the other ones for Dragon AU I have is like the Just a Taste and like the Pearls. There will be at least probably 2 Pearl ones. That's all the ones I'm thinking of right now.
Those
Oh,
are
no,
lovely.
and then there's one that's called Treasure. That's what it is. Yeah, there's another Dragon AU one called Treasure. Those are all the ones that I have cooking up here.
So lovely.
So lovely indeed.
We got a fun little kitchen going on around here.
I literally have a Discord server that just I'm in where I like write down like doodle ideas and stuff and like things to do. If I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do, let me draw, but I really want to draw the boys. Let's draw something. Yeah, it's called doodle ideas.
How
Yep.
fitting.
I've only checked one thing off of it, technically, because I keep thinking of ideas. Ooh, there's a lot of, like, small lore ones that I apparently just have here.
Ooh. Guys, the latest brainworm to take over was Harpy Hair. It's this, like,
Yeah, that's on
folklore
there.
song that people have been putting to reels of their characters, and I'm just like, this is
It works
too
really well.
good for a Milano dream sequence.
It works really
I think it would
well.
look really, really cool.
Yeah. Also, Band-Aid has a lot of music that goes with it.
Band-Aid has a ton of music. We got another reel in the works I actually just finished scripting for last week.
We have one reel before that in the works that I still need to finish animating because I love how it's coming out. Ori just hasn't had a lot of time.
So much to do, so many ideas. How the hell do people do it?
Barely. No, they also, I know how they do it, Mars. They don't also edit YouTube videos and also have a full-time job always and also stream. I will say,
That makes a hell of a difference.
I need to be a variety person at heart. I can't not be. Speaking of being a variety person at heart, well, what's making it nice, Enthuse, is I don't know if you saw, but I'm looking to hire a subtitle reviewer / editor. Yes, everybody here, if you didn't know, in the Discord, or you can see it on the YouTube community page for Ace Tooney. I have an application for a subtitle reviewer / editor, which is basically, you're not fully making subtitles. They are pre-generated, but you would be fixing them to make them fully good. And it is a paid position, and there's a lot more information in the form, so you should check it out if you want to apply. It is like a side hustle thing. It's not like a full-time or even part-time. There's just not enough content. And the channel is not making money, to host that. So, but yeah, apply if that's something you want to do. No editing, no prior video editing experience
Knowledge
needed.
is needed.
This is a very, very entry-level job, guys.
And when we say entry level, we actually mean
I mean
entry
literally
level.
fully entry-level. Literally,
We're not gonna say entry level and
you
then say
need
you need
to
5
know-
years of experience.
besides like having the ability to download things on a computer. It could be, Nicole, it could be. Could be.
Yeah.
I will say we do garble, jarble, and marble a lot, so, be willing.
I mean, you've seen our Ace Attorney videos. You know
Yeah,
how we
you
garble
know-
jarble.
Well, it's definitely harder for people who aren't native English speakers, I will say, because we talk fast and we say weird shit and we say shit that aren't words, but you need to know
And then
they're not
sometimes
words.
we say puns.
But nobody is excluded, and you're totally welcome to apply and like totally try it out and see how it goes. I'm solely warning that English already sucks. I'm already personally bad at spelling. There is sometimes,
We are the
not always,
proprietors of English sucks.
but sometimes that even I don't know what the fuck we said, and I have to go, Mars, what did you say here? Dylan,
Yeah,
what did you say here?
Because by the time she's editing that, I'm like, I have no clue.
It's very simple, Enthuse. It's so basically the biggest detriment to DaVinci Resolve is solely that it is a relatively large program. It is all free. I would be helping, whoever it ends up being, and for like the little tests you'll have if you get to the second round. I will be like telling you how to do it and like showing you exactly how methods and doing. You need to know very little editing. You basically will need to know how to cut, import the file, export the file, and that's really it. The rest is like you click it and you type in the text box and you do whatever. So it's very good. Oh, see, that's perfect, Nicole. That's perfect. It's a lot of like mostly what it is that I have the computer auto-generate subtitles, but it can only do it by character count, right? So it's like I can put on like, okay, it's 32 characters per subtitle, but that means that a lot of times it'll be like, pause sentence, continues, but it's the same subtitle, and that looks ugly and that feels bad, and we don't like that. I also like cutting out when we say like, yeah, that's its separate thing, you know? Yeah, I mean, those are like separate. It's just like a vibe thing. If we go like, no, like I like those to be separate because it like gives a vibe, right? It's a vibe thing. And then on top of that, if you guys are in the paid per view members, YouTube members channel on the Discord, you can see that a lot of times it says it writes stuff that is not what we said.
Stuff that is not.
My favorite right now is that it every once in a while, because Gumshoe is a word besides just being his name, it still rarely actually. It gets that one wrong a lot. It has gotten it wrong significantly more than it has gotten it right, which is wild because a gumshoe is a thing, but I think it's weird. The AI or whatever thinks it's weird because it's not a gumshoe. We're calling him Gumshoe. So it does capitalize it a lot, but it doesn't get it fully right. Recently, it's been taken to saying that we're saying gumshoot, one word, gumshoot. It had done that multiple times. It's a gumshoot. And things like that. But that's basically what the job is. And then, so again, literally no video editing experience needed. I will show you how to use DaVinci Resolve to the level that you need to do it. You just need to have a computer that can have the space, because I will say DaVinci Resolve is rather large and has to be on your main hard drive. It cannot be on your not main hard drive. It's just the way it installs. I have tried very hard to make it not on my main hard drive. But yeah, but so please feel free to look. Of course, knowing how the subtitles look because you watch the videos is a big advantage. So
you got that insider knowledge.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
That could help you.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, if you have any questions about it,
application's gonna be open until September 14th.
Yep.
If I remember correctly.
It is. It's open, so you get 2 weeks.
There is time.
I think that's the math.
Think it over.
Maybe 3 weeks. I don't even know.
Do it.
2.5 weeks. That's the because it's already nearly Wednesday. 2.5 weeks. But yeah,
this week is going fast.
It is not always. Nicole, it isn't. Here, let me give you a taste of some of the things. I'm gonna just go through the ones I've posted. Let's give you a taste of some of the weird shit it has said instead of us
on
saying.
Screen if you can, Ori.
Okay. One of these is actually what Mars said, so I'm not gonna show that one. We got that. I don't even know what some of these. I know what this one was supposed to say.
Are you showing them on Twitch?
No, I'm bringing them up so I can do them.
Okay, because I'm like, we're looking at nothing.
I'm trying to like open them up. Okay, a lot of these are what Mars said, but not actually what she said. Changey. Whoops. All right. Try to zoom in.
Changey, fix.
So this is me just trying to remember what she actually said. Would set's position include? Yes, it would enthuse. It does include purposely spelling things wrong. So specifically, a thing I do is that when we say a same
something
like
over and over again.
So if I say like hold on, they're all spelled differently, with the last one being the correct way to spell it. So they'll be like hold, HOLED, AWN on, right? And then it hold, WHOLED on, ON, and then finally HOLD on. So there is a little level of you need to know the weird
gimmick, but it's our
It's a gimmick. Yeah, it's just something I like to do. It's fun because otherwise it's hard to also like show it like flashing. It like changes more, so it's just like visually more appealing as well. On top of that, if you do fuck up and make an actual mistake that I miss, we all miss, it seems purposeful because it seems purposeful sometimes, you know, right? It's the secret sauce. But yeah, so it says here the defense needs time to prepare to present its lies. That's not what Mars says. Mars said the defense needs some time to prepare to present its lace because she bites her tongue, but it's certainly not lies. So very interesting. The world's best delusions was actually the world's best illusions. What is it, Mr. Dick? What is it, Mr. Nick?
It was definitely Nick.
It's what is it, Mr. Nick? Oh, okay, this one's funny. A huge fan of wands.
Over Pearl's forehead.
A huge fan of wands is a huge fan of Juan's Juan Corrida. Not wands, the thing. This is it says it right here. I heard poor Juan was killed. Is that true? I heard Poi Wan was rough.
Poi Wan?
I heard Poi Wan was cute. I heard poor Wan was killed. So that's the sort of shit that it does sometimes. I will say it's correct a lot of times. It is a lot more like reshuffling the words so they just like line up correctly and flow nice, right? So it's like saying that it's like, if I heard poor Juan was killed, period, it might then also say, is that true in the same line? You'd have to like cut it up and like move it. Or maybe the way Mars said it would be like, I heard poor Juan was killed, right? And so that would be like, I heard as one.
I'll tell you how I said it. I heard poor Juan was killed.
So that would be two things.
True?
So that would be, I heard, next thing, poor Juan, next thing, was killed, right? Is that true? So those like, you know, subtitle vibes. Again, if you watch the videos, you know what I'm talking about. Of course, I will definitely be there to help you guys through the first initial thing. So
examples will be provided. Please,
please, please, if I'm being honest, expertise or experience in video editing is the very, very least of my concerns. It is solely more being like just able to do it, you know, like in the timely manner of like every month, and being able to understand what the fuck we say. 99%, because everything else is like you'll learn, right? If you're willing to learn and you're willing to just learn the method, right, and have the sort of just intuition on the how the level of speech happens, right? That's what it is. The better you are at spelling in English, the better. I gotta tell you, I am on the low end of that. And even when I do the final review of the episode, it's still very wrong. And, you know, the position may expand as the channel expands. Who knows? But this is what we're doing right now. Because honestly, this is the thing that is most time consuming in my life, is this specific part. Forget drawing the memes, forget like, you know, doing all the camera shit. It's literally just like, I don't want to sit here for 2 hours, twice a week, every week, trying to fucking do this. So I'm gonna pay somebody to do it. Well, then it's like, and Ori has to do the comic, and Ori has to do the other comic, and Ori has to do the stream stuff and normal house stuff.
And life stuff.
Ori likes doing too many things. Ori's over here sitting about like, that's the thing I keep trying to bring up, and I keep forgetting and changing the topic, and that is so Mars and I did cosplay, and we went to this convention, and we were like baking versions of the characters. I didn't want to make a whole cosplay. We didn't want to like the purchasing of the cosplays was just kind of difficult. So I made, good night, Pastry Puff.
Night pastry.
Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you Thursday, hopefully. Have a happy hump day.
About Quest for Camelot. Haven't thought about that movie in a while.
There you go. Look at that.
I am back there.
And yeah, so I was like, you know what? It's easy to make aprons. I'm gonna design aprons based off the character outfits, and then we'll just get like the wig and like pretty easy to find, like, you know, regular clothes to wear under the aprons that give the vibe of the character without actually having to be exactly the character's outfit. And honestly, I think they went over very well. Everybody recognized us.
I think it worked
Everybody
really
recognized us. Everybody, you know, nobody was like, oh, like that's your outfit, you know, like, or anything like that. It was really great.
Everyone's like, ooh, Freerin.
Yeah, so it was very nice. I hope to next year, and I'm gonna try really hard, to table at least one convention. Okay, really, even if it's a small one, I really want to table at a convention, really, really bad. And
I really want to help you table.
Yeah, and I want Mars to be my second and have just a fun time getting to sit 2 days at a con and just be there, being on the other side of the artist alley, okay? It's like a dream. I really want to do it. And if it turns out well, we'll be doing it more often. But full cosplay is also kind of hard to do that because you're sitting, again, you're there for 2 days, you know, it can be warm, sort of thing. But I don't want to just be a normal basic person, right? And then I saw on the internet this clothing company that's doing Jujutsu Kaisen, like, what's it called? It's called like
varsity jackets.
Well, no, yeah, well, yes, but the type of cosplay is called like subtle cosplay, right? Where you're wearing like normal clothes, but if you know, you know.
But it's
right?
got like a logo.
But it's got like the logo, or it is literally like a hoodie based off like their like school uniform.
Oh yeah.
Right? So it's like if you have no idea what this anime is, you wouldn't know. But if you know what Yuji looks like, you'd be like, oh, what? Is that a Yuji hoodie? Like, ooh. And so they made a Nanami varsity jacket, and it's made out of denim, which is one, really cool, and two, not the norm. And that's epic, Enthuse.
Woo!
Ooh,
Nice.
who are you gonna be? Are you gonna be Gumshoe? Please tell me you're gonna be Gumshoe. But, and so I was like, okay, I love this, and if it was literally in my color palette, I totally would have dropped way too much money on it because I love it so much. And I went, you know what, Ori? You can sew. I bet you can find a pattern for a varsity jacket and then make it into any anime character's subtle cosplay, right? And so it's like, all right, Mars, I pitched this, and she's like, yeah, let's go. And I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do though? And I'm like, you know, who knows? You know, maybe we'll think about it later. It's totally gonna be Ouran High School Host Club. Yeah, Enthuse, Gumshoe! So we're gonna do Ouran High School Host Club because one, the pale blue color palette totally works with my regular everyday, like, wardrobe, which I need because I want to wear it all the fucking time because I'm gonna put hella effort into this. One, light blue denim is actually really easy to find and really nice. And then, like the white sleeves with the stripes, and then I'll probably do like a rose so then it'll have like the school crest on it, obviously, and then it'll have like the rose detail because each character has like a colored rose that goes with it, so there'll probably be like rose details in places and stuff. And it'll be really nice because I have an embroidery machine and I really have always wanted to learn the Inkscape like stitch like embroidered software, which is free. So I'm very excited. So I'm like, yes, that's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna make really nice varsity jackets. We're already thinking about next year, but I'm very excited for that. But you'll definitely have to tell. Do you know what is it just an event, Thuse, or is it like a convention? Like what kind of, is it like Ace Attorney Con? Like what is it, you know? I'm so curious about this. You gotta know the details. But yeah, so I'm very excited about the varsity jacket thing. Honestly, a lot more of my wardrobe could totally stand to be fun, subtle cosplay stuff. And like, I have the ability. It's an hour-long event as a larger con. Can I know what con? Can I know the convention Enthuse? Am I allowed? I want to know. Because maybe we'll try to go. Who knows?
Could happen.
Mars and I want to go to more cons, so you know.
That is the goal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tossing around the idea of going to a New York Comic-Con in October.
How? You have tickets? For
I
this
looked it
year?
up and it said $75 for the day.
They still have tickets?
Apparently so. I
What?
was looking into it the other day.
Really?
I'm pretty sure, unless I was looking at the wrong damn thing. No, they still have it. Oh, Saturday sold out.
Yeah. What days do they have?
October 17th through the 20th.
So everything but Saturday.
Yes. Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Realistically, I
shit.
could only go on Sunday.
Yeah, oh shit.
Yeah. That probably might not happen this year, to be honest. Now that it's sold out Saturday.
Yeah,
don't
that's why I was like,
think
wow,
it's
really?
realistically happening.
No, we should go to Anime NYC next year and FlameCon. How about that?
Hell yes.
All right. I think Anime NYC is more up our alley, if I'm being honest. Comic-Con is fun, and it definitely has a lot of stuff, but it is still definitely centered more Western comic. I think Anime
Well,
NYC
interestingly
would be
enough,
really fun.
the whole cast from the new Fallout show was going to be there.
Well, but that's the sort of thing that they do, yeah. PopCon, Indie, 2020,
Ooh,
PopCon.
we're looking
So Indiana
at August 22nd through the 24th next year.
for Anime NYC?
Yep.
Nice.
That's pretty sweet.
Nice. Yeah. No, I think we'll go to the one we just went to again. That's the one I really want to table at. And hopefully if
That was a great
FlameCon
one.
is on a different week, we can do that one too.
Let's see. FlameCon.
I don't think they have...
Hold on,
They
they
didn't
have
have
that
next
up
year. Yeah. Because it just happened. But, I mean, Anime NYC just happened as well, so who knows?
We shall find out.
Very fun. And then a dream one that Mars and I will definitely go to one day will totally be Dragon Con in Georgia. That's like a bucket list one. We'll have to do it eventually. I really want to do ribbons.
One day.
I really want to do it. Hey, if
That's
somehow
gotta happen.
if somehow Mars I blow up and I do fucking really great at conventions that it's like worth doing a bunch of stuff, you know, we'll go at like we'll go as an artist.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna say no to that.
No, exactly. Fingers crossed, who knows.
Who knows?
But very fun. Alrighty, well, I think we'll wrap up. We've been going a little longer. We were ranting. We were enjoying.
Oh,
we were
yes,
talking.
But they were good rants.
Oh, they were
tonight.
very good. Thank you all for joining us.
that
Oh,
energy.
what was I gonna say?
Run
I
the
need to change the
credits.
thing. Yes, that's what I need to do. Credits. Thank you so much for coming out. Our lovely YouTube channel members. If you want your little tea pet up on the screen here when for every stream, become one of our lovely top tier angsty adversaries like Parry His Parry, Nicole, and Dichotomy Games. But you can also be one of the other tiers, Psychic Sidekicks, which you don't have anybody on right now, do get early access to all videos once they're uploaded. Once they're edited by me and uploaded, you get access.
Yes.
Doofus detectives like Lakitu Bro,
Takes some
Aragorn,
time.
Canadian Lucifer, Tay, and the Jester. You guys get access to like all the emojis innately in YouTube, so that's really nice to have. We appreciate everybody, and we appreciate all of you just for coming out, monetarily
Yes.
or not, hanging out.
Thanks
VOD
for choosing to
watchers,
spend your evenings
chat
with
peeps.
us. We
Thank you
greatly
indeed.
appreciate it.
If you wanna try your hand, sign up that application for being a
Open
subtitle.
until September 14th.
yes.
Paid
please.
position.
It's good. Work for me. All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you on Thursday. Have a happy hump day, and we'll see you then. Good night.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you soon.